Okay, music. We ready to go live.
Y'all hear
Okay,
me?
we
All
live.
right, we live now.
All right, perfect.
Carla, who you guys the timekeeper, sis?
You.
Who
You.
y'all hear me?
Oh, y'all want me to timekeep? I got you.
Hey, it's four 15-minute rounds. Because there's so much information these guys got. They doing 4 15-minute rounds.
Okay, copy.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. I ain't
20 minutes, right?
nah, man.
See, is it 4 15 minutes or is
It's
it
supposed to be
3
20
20
minutes.
minutes?
It's supposed to be 20 minutes.
That's why I said. That's why I broke it down to
No.
4 15-minute rounds.
Oh, 4 15-minute rounds.
First of all, I didn't agree to that, man. 3 15-minute rounds. What's the problem?
Well, I mean, it is a lot of information. So you don't want to do 20 minutes, Jeremiah?
Nah. That's too long for music to be talking.
Come on, you tripping?
Can I be heard?
That's why I said 4 15-minute rounds, bro. You gotta compromise.
Listen,
man.
music, when you go, man, we not
Nah,
here for
man,
a
this
church
nigga
sermon,
come
bro.
Man, for real, man.
Okay, which one is it? Is it 20-minute rounds or is it 4 15? Which one?
Well, they gotta agree on the same thing.
That's what I said. Either 320 or 415.
It's 3 15, man.
Come on, man.
Nah, I want 20.
Yo, man, this nigga tripping, man. Like,
Yo, he want the smoke. I give him the smoke. He want the
Right.
smoke.
You can't do 20 minutes. It's just an extra 5 minutes per round.
You know how fast
Nah.
the time gonna go? Do 4 15-minute rounds. We got people waiting.
All right, go.
Bet.
All right, so
15-minute
4
rounds.
15-minute
And
rounds.
then y'all even got maybe 3 questions at the end.
All right, family. So it's 9:20 right now. You got to 9:45. Go ahead.
All right, wait, hold on one second before we get started. For the judges, please try to make notes because we're gonna ask you at the end what's the reason and why you decided to go with whichever debater you choose for tonight. Want to do a formal introduction to the Lions Den. Welcome to the Lions Den Debate League. We are actually getting ready to see who's going to be the champ for tonight. The belt is up for grabs. So tonight, Jeremiah better bring it if he wants to be the champ of the Lions Den. Music is saying that he's defending his belt tonight. So it's going to be a good debate. Everybody sit back, relax, and actually enjoy. We got Daquan, aka what's your nickname, Daquan?
You're short of lion.
There we go. Doing the timekeeping. We got JJ 7000 who's actually gonna moderate. I'm your host, Carla Way, in the building. It's going down right here. Please make sure you like and share this debate right now. It's so who's going first is actually gonna be music. Music, let us know when you're ready to start into the rounds.
All right. Hold on.
Music, you ready, family?
I'm about ready. Yeah, hold on. Just getting something. I'm just doing the last. I'm sharing it on Facebook. All right. I'm ready.
All right, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let y'all know when it's 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna let y'all know when you got 1 minute. Go ahead,
All right.
Excuse me before y'all start. How do you share that on Facebook?
I got people.
Okay, before you start music, I don't see it on your Yasha. So what live are you on?
I'm on Truth Colors, Jeshaya.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go to Truth Colors, Jeshaya.
Carla, can he share it on Facebook? He want to know if he can share it on Facebook.
Yeah, it could be shared on Facebook.
Okay.
Yo, I think Lion wants to share it on his Facebook, family.
Yeah, share it on Facebook. Yeah, he can share.
I think you gotta hit share at the bottom, Aliyah, and it'll give you the option.
Oh, that's true how to ask that, but thank you though.
Oh, okay, all right, family, you ready?
Yeah, hold on. Someone's trying to come in. I don't know if anyone sees that.
Hey, don't all you gotta do is copy the link. I think you can copy the link and then just share the link, right?
Yeah, and they'll bring you right in.
Hey, can I say something before you start? What's the name of the? Can you put the link in a back chat, one of the back chats, so I can start
Yeah,
sharing it
let
to
me
the
do it.
group?
Let me do that right there. So I'll share it right now.
The
Put it in the
Yashu,
platform.
yeah.
My Yasha page. I'll put it there. I'm putting it in the Lions. Den. I'll put it on your thing right here. So it's being shared right there.
Okay, when I try to put the URL thing on there, it's not giving me the literal link.
Lions Den. There's a lot of people trying to come in right now. I'm trying to add them right now as they coming in.
Well, it looks like we are at church today.
Hey, music. Make one of us a co-host so we can take care of that while you doing your
I know. I try to do that right there. I try to. People should just come in. Like, what's going on to do? Just come on. Right. So waiting rooms, people should just come on in there. They should be better to come on in. So someone leave out and then come back in.
Hey, look. Hey, look. If y'all want to find a debate, it's in our group, the Lions Den headquarters. I'm finna start sharing it. I share it on my page if you can't find it.
You're a lie. You can do it that way too, Ak. That'll make it easier.
Just did it. Just
Say
added.
what again?
Go to Jeremiah's page and just share it to your page.
Yeah, I can do that.
Music, let me know when you're ready, family.
Hey man, so who are the judges, man? I don't see them.
I don't see it on his page. You shared it over there yet, Jeremiah?
Yeah, go to the Lions Den group or go to my Jeremiah King Judah page is on there. I did a watch party from there. You can or go to the Lions Den headquarters. The group that got 31,000 people. But we got the 5 judges in here. Let's get this going, everybody. Come on, y'all.
All right.
Yo, Music, let me know when you're ready, Ak, so I can start the clock.
Okay. Y'all see that?
Yeah, the synagogue of Satan. You want to start with that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna be starting off with.
All right, so family, it's 9:25. You got till 9:40, bro. Go ahead, Ak. Start.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Lions Den. Glad y'all can make it. We're about to show some things. All right. We're just gonna get a prayer real quick. I pray the Father as he bless us as he comes to this understanding and as he change for the better. In the mighty name of his son, Yeshua Congo. All right. This is the synagogue of Satan. We already know what that is. But most people don't know this though. The red sign following the father's death, Bauer returns to Frankfurt to take over his father's business. Bauer recognizes the significance of the red hexagram and changes his name from Bauer. So the first name of these people were not the Rothschilds. Actually, originally it was actually the Bauer. But the son, he changed the name to Rothschild. So after he seen the red hexagram or sign signifying the 666 hanging over the entrance door, and that was of his father's household. It's just like we did with the Passover, with the blood of the lamb upon our doorpost, he put the same red hexagram above his doorpost. And from that moment on, that became like a symbol, like a red sign. All right. Now, I don't know if anyone's familiar with John Todd, but John Todd is like, he was a part of his family. He worked with them. He talked about the organization of them going into the music, everything. So the Rothschild family is the head of the organization in which I entered in Colorado. All the occult brotherhoods are a part of it. It is a Luciferian organization to install his reign in the whole world. Supposedly, the Rothschilds have personally dealings with the devil, have personally been in this villa and have experienced it, and I know it's true. So we're seeing right now that these people, the synagogue of Satan, is very evil. So anything that they're choosing is going to be because they're of their father, the devil, right? So then we see this right here, the Palestine Post. Most people don't know that this man is behind it, who is also a Luciferian, which is this is Prince Henry right here. And people don't understand that actually this Zionist state or Israel is literally his baby. It belongs to him. So Israel, a creation of what? The Rothschild house. So it's all strictly just of the synagogue of Satan, all this place that they're choosing for. Many people know about the Holocaust that never was talked about. Why? We know the manipulation of here, how they actually, exaggerate how many people actually died on here. Why? Because there is something afoot. The house of David or house of the Rothschilds, Illuminati bloodline Rothschilds. And we can see here we got Messianic temples on the same place where they call Israel. Now you can't separate the Israel from the Negev, since Israel is a part of the Negev. The Israel and the Negev are one and the same. But we've been duped for the most part. Play this video.
Already came on, huh? Oh, well, my other phone was reminding me then. And that was earlier.
Somebody mute their mic, please.
Yes, I'm in. Pause something real quick. Share.
That right there.
Yep. All right, now everybody look at the video.
The truth will be hidden in their faces, so close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial.
We got
The Illuminati secret covenant.
Find out in Kenya it's snow. But we're looking more towards the other places because it is very demonic. The Negev has been a part of the Ben Gurion thing the whole entire time.
We're a generation that thinks differently, acts differently, takes different paths. We break through barriers, taking ideas and turning them into something new and exciting.
This is a story of an entire nation that never ceases to move forward.
Negev is now.
All right, so this is Jordan, Palestine in 1923, before it was all Israel or anything. So somebody's lying. It cannot be Israel at all. All right, so I'm going back to another share. Bring this thing out. This stuff. All right. So this is Israel, Palestine conflict. Don't even make sense. All right. So foreigners will dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, Palestine. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. Now, this is a prophecy that was going on. So most people know about these Jewish people, but they don't know that it's actually prophecy. Father says that he will do in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6, that he will literally cut off the pride of Philistines or Palestine. Now, This is what's been going on. Israel and Palestine, they've been conflicting this whole entire time. Father said something, the past, present, and future prophecies. Now in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6, foreigners will dwell in Ashdod. Now, everyone knows that in the land where there's a lot of black people or dark-skinned people, they always say that these people do not belong here. Everyone knows that the Ashkenazi people or the Jewish people or the Macedonians are foreigners there. They do not belong there. No one says anything really about the Arabs. No one says anything about anyone else. But when they see these white people over here, this ties in perfectly with the scriptures of Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. Foreigners will dwell in Ashdod. It didn't say anything about Israel. It said Ashdod. And I will cut off the pride of Palestine or the Philistines. Now we see exactly where they settled in. What's going on? Palestine versus the synagogue of Satan, which is the Jewish people. So prophecy is all right here. So how do we get caught up in this mismatch? Here we go right here. Since 1948 was a fulfillment of scripture in Isaiah 14, which says, do not rejoice, O Philistia or Palestine, all of you, because the rod that struck you is broken. Meaning what? The first kingdom that was attacking you, that scepter is gone, right? Which was the Ottoman Empire. It passed it on to someone else. But look at this. But out of the serpent's root, an adder, which is a snake, will emerge, and his fruit will be a fiery flying serpent. Now, even from this standpoint, we see that they've been attacked from this. They've been taken over by this person. They've been taken over by this person. So from this time, it's been literally Israel who's been putting their foot up their behind. Look at this, the pursuit of peace. Palestinians warned there will be no peace without Jerusalem resolution. But we need to also think about what's going on as well. Look at this. The origins of Ashkenazi, what is Yiddish? The foreigners will dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, which is Palestine. We know that the DNA does not, the Jewish race claim is false. So this ties in perfectly with Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6, foreigners. People we don't know. We know the language they speak is Yiddish, which literally means S-H-I-T, literally. That's what it is. It means nothing. So right there, the Father's word is being true in Zechariah chapter 9. The whole world don't even know that this whole entire thing is prophecy being fulfilled. Now, this is not the Star of David. We know it's the Star of Rephaim, which is nothing but demonic. It is literally witchcraft. So Palestine, which is the biblical description, identifies 5 Philistine cities: Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Ekron, and Gath. Canaan nor Israel was one of them. There was not none of them. So when we talk about Palestine, first thing we should be talking about, like, wait a minute, it's Palestine. It's not Israel. Not Israel at all. It's never, Israel was never been named in with Palestine or Philistine. All right, now watch this. This is the adder who's going to come after him. How gate, cry city, you are melted away, Philistia, Palestine, all of you. So when most people don't know that Benjamin Netanyahu has become the prime minister again for another term. But after him, this person's going to come in. His name is Benny Gantz. He's going to do the same thing as Benjamin Netanyahu has been on them. He has been literally like hurting them. Look what it says. Palestine, all of you, for smoke comes out of the north, and there is no straggler in his ranks. Meaning what? The next ones to come after him is going to be the same way, just like he was. Why? Because the Father prophesied that you will always have someone hurting you. You know what I'm saying? Soon as one person leaves, the next person comes to torment you. This is Zechariah. This is prophecy being fulfilled. Now, we see that Palestine also was the enemies of Israel. So how in the world do we get their land again? It don't make sense. Listen, Palestine, it contained many towns and villages, the most important being the 5 so often mentioned in scripture: Gaza, the Gaza Strip, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. The population must have been large for the territory, which enabled them to contend, means fight against successfully with what? The Israelites. So how can this be Israel if they're fighting against the Israelites? Does not make sense no more. All right, moving on. All right, the Philistines, Palestine takes the Ark of the Covenant. So in 1 Samuel chapter 4, we got what? The Philistines capturing the Ark. This is where we're going to start to meet in with Dagon. This is when the Father's about to lay down Dagon. So how in the world can this be Israel? So they're going to take them from Israel and bring them into Israel? Doesn't make sense no more. Because at the time, the Ark is in Israel, right? And it's leaving from Israel going over into Philistines or Palestine, which is called Israel today. Doesn't make sense. That's 1 Samuel verse 4. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so we can see what the Ark of the Covenant is captured and taken to Ashdod temple. This is talked about in 1 Samuel chapter 4, right? And when they realized that the Ark of Yah had entered the camp, the Philistines were afraid. The gods have entered their camp. They said, woe to us, for nothing like this has ever happened before. Woe to us, when who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the wilderness. Take courage and be men, O Philistines. This is Palestine, the same place they're calling Israel today.
3 minutes
Otherwise,
remaining. 3 minutes remaining.
All right, so the death of Eli, and we see what? That the Ark of the Covenant has been taken by Palestine, which is, and it's been taken to the Ashdod temple. And this is where Dagon gets his butt broken off. We see that the father, the Ark of the Covenant is right there, and Dagon is broken. He breaks his head and he breaks his arms off. We see that in 1 Samuel chapter 5. Moving on. All right, this cannot be Israel. Once again, 1 Samuel chapter 5. Now the hand of Yah was heavy upon the people of Ashdod and its vicinity, or ravaging them and afflicting them with tumors. The father was actually whooping there behind. There's no way that this place can be Israel or can be the real true place of Israel. Why? Because this is the synagogue of Satan. This is where they chose to actually set up their setup and everything. And we see the same place where they chose is literally Palestine, which is an enemy of the Most High, which is also an enemy of Israel. This cannot be anywhere near our homeland, because Zechariah chapter 9 verse 6 is speaking volumes, and we got more things to bring out that with the testimonies that's actually going off. We got Palestinian wars. We got them getting ready to go to war again. We just had them having a war right now. We got people always fighting for the land. And we can see actually from the reduction of Palestine going into Israel. There was no such thing as an Israel way back in 1923. That didn't come about until 1948 when they began to start to connive. These people are the synagogue of Satan, so all they're going to do is lie and connive, even as the Messiah called them. The Messiah said that these are, I know those who say they are Jews, but are the synagogue of Satan. So what they're going to do, they're going to lie. They're going to lie about the location, because we're going to see even clearly also where the Father says about his homeland and what he says about his location. And we're going to see even more about the synagogue of Satan, what they're about. They're about lies.
1 minute left, music. 1 minute left.
Lies. So as people are taking careful attention to what I'm actually putting out here, you can actually fact check all these things about Palestine. It's always been attacked. And Father says in Isaiah 14 verse 29 that you will always have an attack. You will always have someone, saying attacking you. And we can see that from here, from 1516 all the way to the present time right now, that Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, is fighting against Palestine at this very moment. So the Father's word is true, and every man be alive. And I yield the floor.
All right, Tom.
Ooh, music ain't playing. He brought some good information out. I mean, the fact that Israel only been around since 1948. He brought out, some scripture fulfilling prophecy. So I'm curious to see what Jeremiah gonna do in this first round to kind of try at least to debunk the information that music provided. Daquan, be ready when Jeremiah let you know when he's ready to go ahead and kind of go at it.
Copy, sis. I'm ready. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Let's get it.
Somebody got to mute their mic.
Hold up. That might be me. Hold up. Make sure I'm good.
Yes, can everybody mute their mic if they're not speaking? Thank you.
Yo, man, am I able to share my screen?
I think he has to take his screen off first, music. You got to take yours off.
I'm about to do it. I'm about to bring it where it's multiple, where you can do it at the same time.
Yep.
No, brother, I need your whole mess off the screen, brother. What are you talking about?
We ain't been disrespectful on this one at all.
Say again, brother?
I said we're not going to be disrespectful on this one at all.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. Don't address me, brother, because just don't. All right.
I'm addressing you. I'm dressing you nicely, as we all should be dressing each.
I'm gonna ask you. Just don't address me, bro, because I'm not gonna address you.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep it
Yeah.
peaceful.
Exactly.
Okay, music. Stop
Yeah,
sharing your
I
screen.
want to see the
Oh,
whole
Lord, I
debate
got a
this
moderator
time, man.
already. Come on, man. Come
Go ahead
on.
and dress, Joe. Go
Music,
ahead
can you
and
just
share your
remove the
screen.
stuff off the screen so the brother so he can put his stuff on?
All right, Jeremiah, let me know when you're ready, y'all.
All right, hold on. Let me get my screen up before my time get to rolling. Can you see my screen?
No, now we can.
Yeah, now you good, Ak. You ready?
I can see your screen now.
Okay.
All right, family. It's 9:45. You got to 10 o'clock, family. Go ahead, Ak.
All right, man. First and foremost, man, I want to give all praise to Abanawa Yahweh about Shema Mashiach Yahweh, man, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm sincerely thankful to be here, man, to be able to add on to the information in which you all was privy to in the first place with the first debate, right? So what we have here, this right here, family, make this clear. Hold up. Is the second death. Revelations 21:8. Understand that. All right. This is the second death. Why? Because he died in the first debate. All right. And still yet the man is confused when you're talking about chronography. He has no understanding of chronography. He just throwing stuff all over the place like an army, right? Which did have no modern transportation. No modern transportation in ancient times during the time of King David and King Solomon, during the time of Moses, during the time of Abraham. No modern transportations. You know how they got around, family? They walked. So this man is going to start off this discussion proving to you and I, which what we already know, that Palestine is in the Levant. Then he gives you and I scriptures. Give you and I scriptures showing the constant relationship between the Philistines or the people of Palestine, right? Which the Bible calls the Philistines, showing a relationship. But yet and still is not telling you and I that Kenya is 1,905 miles from Egypt, and Egypt is 356 miles from Israel, modern day Israel. 356 miles to Egypt, 1,905 miles to Kenya. He does't care about chronography. He doesn't care that the Philistine army would have to march more than 2,500 miles to steal an ark from a people that, hey man, everybody need to mute their mic, man. Come on, man. He's not telling you and I that they would have to march over 2,500 miles to get to what he's calling Jerusalem, which is in Kenya. Why is he not telling you and I this? Because it don't make no damn sense. And yet there were grand civilizations in between Israel and Kenya, such as Egypt, such as Nubia, right? Such as the ancient Ethiopians, the Ethiopians, right? So on and so forth. So there's no stories of them interacting with these people. They're just gonna let the Philistine army. I want you to think about this, family. The Egyptians and the Ethiopians are gonna let the Philistine army march their army through their cities. So they can go 2,500 miles to steal an ark and then come back through these people's city. Do you know what armies do to cities? They're not just going to pass by and wave, and they're going to have a parade for these foreign armies to come into the cities or bypass the cities of these countries, man. That's not how military works. If an army is on its way in anywhere close to the vicinity of your city, there's an alarm. There's an alarm. So meaning they would have to contend with the Egyptians and the Ethiopians before they got to Kenya. I need these judges. Let me make this clear, man. You judges, man, I need you to think. And don't let this man monopolize this by convoluting scripture. He has already clearly proven that we had close relations with the Philistines, family, and I'm going to go into it. We had close relations with the Philistines, right? So
let me ask you a question. Have you been showing your screen?
Yes.
Your screen has been showing, but if you've been showing slides, it ain't been moving.
Do it say where is Israel right now?
Yeah, that's what it say right now.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I have not been flipping screens. All right, so for you judges, if you judges did not watch the first debate, you are doing a disservice, man. You're doing a disservice to me and the brother Music, because if you have not watched the first debate, you're missing critical information that would further be substantiated with this here debate, right? Which was brought forth.
Right.
Which was brought forth. Everybody, can you please mute your mic, man? Which was brought forth information that will be substantiated throughout this debate, right? All right, so again, the lands were divided up, and I'm just doing a small recap of the first debate. The lands was divided up, Genesis 10:15 through 20, right? Which speaks of the Hamitic Canaanites, which were given the land of Canaan, which is here, right? Which gives you these landmarks, Sodom and Gomorrah. Pay very close attention, it's very important, right? Sodom and Gomorrah. Where the hell is Sodom and Gomorrah at? In Kenya. Where's Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So we went and further to substantiate the land that was given to Shem, which was from the Mesopotamian region, to Sephar, right? To Mesha, which we brought forth. Clearly, it's over here. It's not over here. This is in the Bible, okay? This is in the Bible. It's right here, Genesis chapter 10, verse 31. Salakia, no, that's not it. It is in Genesis 11 and 31, man. Right? One second here. Yes. Genesis 10, 22 through 31. Right? Sephar and Mesha. Sephar and Mesha, right here was the land that was given to who? Who, family? Shem. Can y'all see this? The children of Shem. Look at the map. Okay? Mesha and Sephar is in the land of Saudi Arabia. I don't get it. So he want to convolute scriptures and have you read this scripture and tell you about the relationship between the children of Israel and the Philistines, which is a fact, but don't tell you that Israel is way up here and Kenya is below this. 1,905 miles from Egypt, right? This is just round one, family. And this is very important, this information. Now, the man made mention of snow in the mountains. Let's make this clear, family. If I ask somebody, do it snow in California? They're going to say, no, it don't snow in California. But it snows in the mountains because the land is in high altitude. So if there's snow in high altitudes of the mountains, that don't have nothing to do with the mainland, the lower land, where the people built civilizations. I want him to show you and I the civilizations, the ancient ruins in the mountains of the snow. Show you and I the ancient ruins in the mountains. And then prove to us that's where Jerusalem is in the mountains, and show us the ruins. Okay? Here it is right here. You can look this up, family. I'm not making this up. This is a simple Google search. Winter in Kenya. Winter in Kenya, it says, has hot and dry weather, the same locations, average daytime air. Temperatures reaching 91 degrees, family. 91 degrees. While the water in the Indian Ocean warms up to 82 Fahrenheit. It has to be much hotter for the water to warm up that much. So that means that's no snow. You don't get no closer to the equator than you are in Kenya. Okay? So now this is very important, right? Let me go to my new slide here. Oh, again, proving what? The mileage. The mileage. 1,905 miles. I hope you all can see this. The distance traveled equals to 1,905 miles from Egypt to Kenya. All right? Very important that you understand that. Let's go to the new slide, the second day, right? So now, this scripture, right? Hold up 1 second here. Is a head buster. 91 degrees in Kenya, family, but yet in 2 Samuel's 23 and 20, it says what? And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kibzeel, who had done many acts, he slew two lion-like men of Moab. Where? Pay very close attention to where's the ancient land of Moab, family. Is that in Africa? Lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. That means it's not going to snow all the time. In the mountains, it's always snowing, family. Why? Because it's of high altitude. But when this took place, it was during the time of snow.
3 minutes remaining, family. 3 minutes.
Right? So as we go on here, also it says what? It spoke about slaying lions. What is there lions in the ancient land of the Levant in ancient Israel? Are there lions out there? That could only be in Africa, because it's only lions in Africa. Let's see. Right? It says what? 2 Kings 17 and 26. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nation which thou hast removed and placed in the city of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he have sent what? Lions. So is the Bible lion? He sent lions amongst them. And behold, they slew them, because they knew not the manner of the God of the land. Let's look here. Let's look here. All right, so this is simple Google search. Are there lions in Israel? By the early 20th century, while Oxford Syria Brown bears as Asiatic lions, wait, what? Asiatic lions, Asiatic cheetahs, And Syrian wild ass had became what? Extinct in the region, modern. I mean, recent times, not during the time of King David, not during the time of Second Kings that was making reference during the time of Solomon and his sons. Modern hunters. Laws prohibited all hunting of mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians, except those considered pests or specific animals in hunting season. So
1 minute remaining, family.
So that means, family, that there were lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, in the land of Israel, in the land of Israel, called Asiatic lions, Asiatic cheetahs, and wild ass, right? Also bears were in that region, but based upon hunting, they have all but become extinct, right? So we have to take that in consideration when we're looking at the biblical text, and we can see that these animals existed in the land at that time. My next round, I'm going to be getting into some archaeology, family. Unrefutable archaeology, right? And I pray that you all are paying close attention. We're talking about the temperature of the lower land, not the mountain ridge, because that same way is in California right now. Up in the mountains, there's snow, but on the bottom, it's not snow, fam. It doesn't snow in Southern California. Understand that?
All right, all right. You know, Jeremiah brought out some valid points, especially when it comes to the snow. How many miles away from Kenya to Egypt? He also brings out that there was lions, tigers, and bears in the land of Israel. So I'm curious to see what Music have in his second round and how he's going to explain where's the snow. You know, how can you explain the biblical text that clearly states is located here based on Jeremiah's round? So I'm curious how you're going to debug it, and let's kind of get into the second round for Music. Daquan, get ready to start the time. Music, please let Daquan know when you're ready to start.
Good, Music.
All right, I'm about to start my screen. Get it on here. Keynotes. All right, we're gonna look at I noticed he said something about horses.
Music, you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just want to make sure you're ready. You ready?
All right, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, you guys, 10 o'clock. You got the 10:15. Go ahead.
All right, 10:15. All right.
Yeah, copy. Go ahead.
All right. All right. I wanted to take time to. Can y'all hear me?
You loud and clear, family.
All right, good. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, 2 Samuel 8. Go ahead.
Good. All right. So David triumphs. I just want to hit something real quick. So David triumphs. So they say like they didn't have no kind of see, we see horses right here. David also defeated Hadadezer, son of Roab, king of Zorba, who had marched out to restore his dominion along the Euphrates River. David captured him 1,000 chariots. I don't know what they for. 7,000 charioteers and 20,000 foot soldiers, and he hamstrung all the horses except 100 he kept for the chariots. So when the Arameans of Damascus came to help King Hadadezer of Zorba, so we see Damascus is going against us, and we see that David is going against people from Damascus and everything like that. So wherever this kingdom that David is at is going to be where home is, because this is before, you know, the land was split into two, before we split into two kingdoms. And we see here that they had transportation of horses, not just walking. And at the time of the Messiah time, they had ships, they had boats. So they're not walking everywhere as he would, you know, falsely tell you and try to mislead you. Solomon had 4,000 stalls for chariot horses and 12,000 horses. So the Father, you know, made horses from the very beginning when he made Adam. So I just want to put that out there real quick. Now let's get on with my rest of my presentation. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some snow also in certain parts of Kenya, not just where the mountains is. This is nowhere near the mountains. So yeah. This is nowhere near the mountains. This is literally just out in the lands. Snow in Kenya, period. So again, yeah, snow right there on the roads. That's not even where the mountains are. It's just on the roads, just snow on the roads. Snow on the roads right here. Not a mountain, just roads. Snow on the roads, houses and stuff. Like, yeah, just want to put that out there. Okay, so moving on, we'll stop that share. Okay, can y'all see my screen again?
Yeah, you good, Art?
All right. All right. Now we see that again that Ashdod, which is not a friend of ours, but is a enemy of ours, the father. So that makes everything I said earlier valid, what he tried to make invalid. But what B is this, like, all right, so the father hates a false balance. It's a false balance, is abomination to the Most High Yah, right? A false balance is abomination to Yah, but a just weight is his delight. So the Father's word is true or is not. He told us to be perfect, right? So his location where he chooses for his place also has got to be perfect. We have 4 witnesses of this. Unequal weights are abomination to Yah, and false scales are not good. Now, a person can come with a whole bunch of choreography, all they want to, but none of that really makes sense when it comes to the word of the Most High Yah. The word is speaking. It says a false balance is abomination. A false balance is abomination to Yah, but a just weight is his delight. The same thing would be for his location where he would choose for his people. Unequal weights are abomination to Yah, and false scales are not good. Now, you shall not have 2 differing weights in your bag, one heavy and one light. That's Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 13. Now, the place where the Father's going to choose, like he said, it's got to be balanced, right? So you shall have just balance and a just ephah and a just bath. That's Ezekiel 45 in verse 10. So Father loves balances. Now, scales are used in very different things. Scales is used for sewing. People got to measure the cloth, make sure it's right and balanced, because if not, you're going to have the wrong sleeves, one sleeve too high, one sleeve too young, one leg too high, one leg too long. And a person who actually does sewing will actually understand this kind of work. You can't have one leg too long and one leg too high. Everything's got to be balanced, unless people are going to return back their garments. So same thing with the carpenters. When you have a house, if your house is lopsided, if the things is not balanced, you can't have things that's stable, right? So the Father loves things that's stable. When things is balanced, it is stable. Map makers, they're going to use scales, right, to balance out where things are on the equator. So the Father is going to choose something that's closer to the equator for his place. Why? Because it is at zero balance, right? So where's the place on this map the Father's going to choose? Is he going to choose the 0 part of the equator, the 30th part, the 60th part, or the 9th part, right? So if 0 is perfect, 30 is not perfect, 60 is not perfect, 90 is not perfect. So we see the Father is choosing perfection. So if he's not going to choose a place at the 0 equator, then he has lied about us being perfect. He said, "Be ye perfect as he is perfect, for the Father is perfect." Our land was given to the nations, and you can see exactly where it was given to. So we have French, we have Sudan, insurgencies, all these different places show you exactly where it went to. The Republic of the Congo, and most people be surprised. We've seen a lot of people coming out from this area right here. Now, if we go here to this Bible Hub, we can see what the Father said also. So the Father said, the Son of Man prophesied to Israel mountains, give them this message, O mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yah. This is what the sovereign Yah says. Your enemies have taunted you, saying, aha, now the ancient heights belong to us. Therefore, Son of Man, give the mountains of Israel this message from the sovereign Yah. Your enemies have attacked you from all directions, making you the property of many nations. That's United Nations. And the object of much mocking and slander. Therefore, mountains of Yisrael, hear the word of Yah. He speaks to the hills, mountains, ravines, and valleys, and to the ruined waste. So now the scripture talks about us returning back to ruined waste, places that are ruined cities. These got to be completely cities that are still ruined at this moment, and long deserted cities that have been destroyed and mocked by the surrounding nations. These cities and nations, or these ruined places, are still going to be around. They're not going to be built up until we go back, because the word says so. If the word doesn't say it, then it's a lie, right? And if we see it in scriptures, we're going to prove that. This is what the sovereign Yah says: my jealousy, anger burns against these nations, especially Edom, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. So we see that Edom will be resting in our land as well. Now, Edom will be like Esau, like East Saudi Arabia. And we notice that most of our lands down in so-called, when you get into Africa, whatnot, are all settled by Arabs, like Sudan, Morocco, all these different areas, which will be considered to be the real true North Africa, is literally being settled by the Arab nations. All right, so Father says that, therefore, this is what the sovereign Yah says: I have taken a solemn oath that those nations will soon have their own shame to endure. Father is going to do something to these people. All right, getting back to it. All right, now the Father says, you enemies have attacked. We've seen this part. All right, so Jeremiah 23 says what? So then the days are coming, declares Yah, when the people will no longer say, as surely as Yah lives, who brought up the Israelites out of Egypt, but they will say, surely as Yah lives, who brought the descendants of Yisrael, or Israel, out of the land of the north. That means all the land of the north, and out of all the countries where he had banished them. Then they will live in their own land. So Zechariah 2:7 says, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. And then we see all these different prophecies right here. Flee from the land of north. It talks about it in Zechariah chapter 2:6. It talks about it also Zechariah 2:6 again, Mark 13:27, Matthew 24:31, Psalms 44:2, Jeremiah 31:10, Jeremiah 3:18, Ezekiel 5:10, Isaiah 52:11, Jeremiah 3:18, Isaiah 48:20. Leave Babylon, flee from the Chaldeans. And the Chaldeans, we know, is going to be somewhere close by Arabs or whatnot. Declare it with a shout of joy. Proclaim it and let it go out to the ends of the earth, saying, Yah has redeemed his servant Jacob. So the Father tells us literally that everyone who's in the north distant lands to come home. He said he's going to give you your own inheritance in Jeremiah 3:18. In those days, the house of Judah will walk with the house of Israel, and they will come together from the land of the north to the land I have given your ancestors as an inheritance. Now, people who are going to the Levant and whatnot like that, there is people who are going to the Levant who are actually being told not to go to the Levant. We got Hebrew Israelites who are going over there right now, and they're cutting out their things. Like, they're shutting things down and making it to where they got to pay. Why is the Father making it hard for people to keep Passover in the so-called land? Why? Because the Father is putting up a barrier. Correction always comes when we're doing something wrong, and the Father is shutting things down. If he was happy about it, he would let the thing continue to go on. But the fact that the Father is allowing them to shut down the park where people are going down there to the Levant, here we go, right there, so I'm bringing it out. And this will be the last.
If you don't have their name.
Beit Israel is a community originally from.
Just bring it out. Bring it all out. Because this is happening.
You got 3 minutes left.
All right, that's all I need. I'm playing this video. I'm playing this video right now. Can y'all see it now? Can y'all see this video? Can y'all hear it?
If you don't have their name.
Beit Israel is a community originally from the United States with roots in the Black Hebrew Israelites movement. Now based in Israel, the religious group believes Tel Arad to be the true Jerusalem.
These are the people of the book. That's right.
The Israeli government, however, does not recognize Tel Arad as a holy site.
Israel have a law. You see, that indicates that if you have a holy place within the land of Israel, that you should be able to visit there freely, you see, without having to pay entry for it. So because of that, we want what everybody else, what every other community have in Israel. We want our people that's coming from America, our people that live here in Israel, we want them to be able to enter into the holy place.
Leader of Beit Israel, Hoshua Amariel, is citing an Israeli law enacted 52 years ago. The law says holy places will be protected from any desecration, with freedom of access to those who hold them as sacred. Tel Arad is currently under Israel's Park Authority, where it is being treated as a national park and campsite. Beit Israel's activities are slowly being banned from the site, and its members must pay a fee to enter for prayers.
I fear God more than I fear men. You understand? So we do go ahead and do what we're required to do, but we have a backlash afterwards saying that we broke the rules of the place.
Several years ago, Beit Israel began working with Israeli lawyer Daniel Taib.
That's the handshake for the revolution, the Torah revolution.
Together, they are working on bringing the case before the Israeli government to have Tel Arad officially recognized as a holy place.
Over the past year, the situation started escalating. Before last year, Chief Hoshua and his community could go there for their ceremonies and sacrifices. Everything was authorized. No one hurt anyone. Now they are being given difficulties to practice their rituals, so we are stepping up our legal actions to help.
Currently, the group holds most of their rituals outside the boundaries of the park's authority. And abiding by Israeli law is beginning to dishearten many members of the community.
The scriptures say that the city of David is the same as Zion, or that Mount Zion is the city of David. If the scriptures literally say that, then how can you have a sign that points Mount Zion this way and then the city of David that way? It just doesn't make sense. We know that that's Mount Zion, and we would like to come there and pray and serve the Most High as we're commanded. That's all.
It hurts. It hurt really bad. It's something that I think about every day. I cry about it. I pray about it. I just, every day, I'm dealing with it every day, everywhere I go in this country. It's really hard because that's who we are. That's who we are as a people.
Israel's Parks Authority declined I-24 News' request to be interviewed on Beit Israel in Tel Arad. It remains to be seen if the community will ever get the recognition it seeks.
Go ahead.
Carla, where you at, sis?
I'm right here. Yeah, that was a very interesting round there. He bring out some valid points on, fleeing from the land of north. That the fact that they actually had boats and horses is trying to answer Jeremiah's questions on that. So he did address that. The balance was quite interesting. Analogy that you use as well. So I definitely want to see Jeremiah's response on the land, because a lot of us do believe that this is actually the land mass. So I'm going to turn it over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, please let Quan know when you're ready.
Ready.
Let me know when you got your screen up so we can go ahead.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you good, Ak. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, it's 10:20, so you got the 10:45. Ak, go ahead.
All right. That's amazing. Those brothers that's in the video that he played, I actually know them brothers. Those are my brothers. I like call them on the phone and have class with them and everything, right? So those brothers are actually in the land. First brother that the video showed was Brother Free. He actually lived in Kenya for 10 years, right? And so he would be a great witness and might be calling in, all right, as an eyewitness testimony to someone who's been in Kenya and been in the land, right? So also during the last debate, one of my judge, I only had one judge, my judge lived in Kenya and lived in the land, and he knows that the land of Israel that's located in the Levant is the actual land. So these are eyewitness accounts of people who actually been there. Now the brother can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's been nowhere. All right, not in the land of Israel, nor in Kenya, right? So neither have I. But I have elders and leaders and teachers who've been in the land. All right, so let's deal with the archaeology. And let's go into some of the areas in which he made reference to, right? Let's deal with the archaeology. So now, this is a photo, an aerial photo of the excavation at Tel Safi, right? Which is the biblical God, right? And guess where this is at, family? Guess where this is at? This is in the Levant, right? So there's a multitude of archaeology that we are to look at. And why are these artifacts coming out of the Levant? We have to pay close attention to these things, right? So is this in the scripture? Do it speak about God in the scriptures? Let's see. It says what? This is 2 Kings, right? This is 2 Kings 12 and 17 through 18. Then Hazael, king of Syria, went up and fought against Gath. Where? Gath. And took it. And Hazael set his face to go up to Jerusalem, which means that Jerusalem, family, has to be at least in close proximity to go from Gath, which is northern Israel, right? The northern tip of Israel. Then he has to turn his sights into Jerusalem. Why would he turn his sights to Jerusalem, which this brother has already admitted that the people of the Philistines are in the Levant? Why would he then say, oh, I'm going to turn my sights to Israel, 2,500 miles away from Gath? That makes no sense, family. And we have to take this in consideration. The man is trying to get you and I to believe that the entire continent of Africa is Israel. That is utterly ridiculous, man. Why? Because there was much interaction between them. Remember, Christ was born where? He was born in Bethlehem. He was raised in Galilee, right? And he was crucified in Jerusalem. And he was Christ riding a horse? Show me the scripture where Christ was and the disciples jumped on 12 horses. Where's that at in the scriptures? Horses, family, was something that was usually utilized by the military or very rich and wealthy people in the land. Same way today. You Negroes don't got no horses, okay? Why? Because you have to have a certain income in order for you to have a place for the horse, for you to maintain that horse, all right? So we have to take this in consideration and not be fooled by this witchcraft and sorcery that's trying to be playing on you and I, to make you and I believe. All right, and I noticed something with the little map illustration that he had. The equator, what he was saying was the equator, according to the picture he showed, and I dare him to show the picture again. Because the equator, according to the picture he showed, went across, it was way north of Kenya. It didn't go through Kenya. It was way north of Kenya. And I dare him to show the picture again. Okay? So what we have to take in consideration, family, is that it's no way impossible. It's totally impossible for the entire landmass of Africa to be Israel. And Christ walked. Are we going to sit here and act like Christ jumped on a damn horse? The only time that it mentioned him getting on any type of animal, it was a donkey. And donkeys don't travel that fast, not as fast as a horse. So I don't see no scriptures in the Bible where these disciples was jumping on horses, traveling all over the place. Does that mean there was no horses in the land? I'm not saying that. The military and the very rich. So of course, King Solomon is going to have horses. You understand? So I'm just making it clear. The average modern man, the average man, right? The average man traveled. They traveled in ancient times by walking. So imagine walking the entire continent of Africa. That's absurd, right? So it says what that so after he fought against Goth and took Goth, verse 18, it shows you that the king and Jehoshaphat and Joram and Elijah, the father of the father's king of Judah, he dedicated and his own hallowed things and all the gold that was found in the treasury of the house of the Lord and in the king's house, and sent it to Hazazel, king of Syria, and he went away from Jerusalem. So clearly he was leaving Goth and he was on his way to Jerusalem. So he was getting ready to take his army. So I guess his entire army had horses. And his entire army had horses, and they was going to jump on horses and travel 2,500 miles to get to confront the people in Jerusalem. That is absurd and ridiculous. Okay? So now we're looking at the map here. We see Goth here, right? We see Goth. And what else? Here's another map. We see the lands of Ashdod and Ascalon and Ekron that was mentioned in that brother's presentation of the cities of the Philistines in the land of Israel, family. Here's the Dead Sea. Here's Jerusalem. Here's Hebron. Here's Benjamin. Here's Ephraim. Why are these lands being identified as these places? Remember, if you go read the story of the relationship between the Philistines and the Israelites, remember, who was King David fighting against when he was a child? He went up against who? Oh yeah, that's right, Goliath. So, and remember, who Samson was warring against. Who was Samson warring against, family? The Philistines. So that means that these people had to have close relations with the children of Israel in order for so much interaction to be going on in the biblical text. Location, landmass, chronography, right? We can't just throw away the distance between two things, all right? So it says what? The Tel-Safi, Goth, archaeology. In fact, 3 of the Philistine cities have been excavated. Ascalon, Ashdod, and Ekron, which we just showed you on the map here, which is where? In the land of Israel. It was from Goth that Goliath, the fabled champion of the Philistines, came. And important results of what? 2018. So this city was excavated, family, when? In 2018. This excavation went on in 2018. That means they are still uncovering ancient cities. Where? In the Levant. This place was not found in Kenya. Okay? It says what? Tel Safit National Park, Israel. The biblical city of what? Of Gath, often referred to, right? Often referred to as Gath of the Philistines, was one of the 5 Philistine states established in northern Palestine. Gath is often mentioned in the Torah. Why is Gath often mentioned in the Torah when Israel is 25 plus 100 miles away? Why? They had to be more in close proximity in order for them to have such a presence in the Torah. Often mentioned in the Torah, and its existence is confirmed by ancient Egyptian inscriptions. It is said to be the home of the legendary Goliath, and the location where what? A blind Samson knocked down the temple pillars. Another Israelite in the land of Levant, in close proximity with the Philistines, family. Right? So it was mentioned in ancient Egyptian inscriptions, which is found where? Let's see. Gath is often mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, and its existence is confirmed by Egyptian inscriptions. Gath is mentioned in the El Monolith letters as Ganat or Gentu, ruled by the 2 Swatid and Abdon and Ashtar. I'm butchering that, but forgive me. Another Gath, known as Genta or Kimerel, Gath of Cameron, also appears in the Amarna letters. So not only is Gath, or the ancient city of Gath, or the Philistines being mentioned, but I'm going to end the Egyptian writings. But I'm giving you the Egyptian writings where you can go find this. This is the city where David and Goliath and Samson destroyed the Philistines, family. Understand this. This is very important, man. Right? How much time I got left?
You got your 3 minutes, huh? 3.
All right, so let's make this clear. Right? We have these ancient cities that are being made mention of. And I don't want to go into the next one because I'm not going to have time to cover it like I want to. But what I want to reaffirm with you all is that these cities that are being mentioned, right? These cities that are being mentioned are equated to the biblical text, aligned with the cities that we can find. The Dead Sea, we're going to go there in just a little bit, family. We're going to go there in just a little bit. The River Jordan. These are things that are of heavy amount of importance in the biblical text, right? So we have to find these things. I'm not going to go over all the way over here, and I'm going to pull from over here, and I'm going to go all the way to Western Africa, and I'm going to pull from here and try to act like the entire continent is the land of Israel. That is ridiculous. Why would I say that? Because of the communion and the way of travel that was being made mention of in the biblical text. So it's imperative that you judges are paying close attention to the archaeology that is being mentioned. And I have much more, so much more. But seeing that I have 2 more rounds, you understand? I want to be able to give you something every round. And this information is important that we have to look at this. He's already admitted, family, that the ancient Palestinians or the ancient Philistines were in the land of the Levant. So if they were in Levant, how are there armies that had interaction with the people of Israel? How are kings being imprisoned? How are soldiers being killed? How was Samson having such, remember the story? Did Samson move to the Levant? Did he move there and he just established himself? Or was the Philistines in close proximity, walking distance, the cities? If you understand the story of Samson, if you go and you read it, there was a close relationship in regards to the travel that went on between going into the city of the Philistines and coming out of the city of the Philistines, going back to his tribal roots, which was the tribe of Benjamin, right? Being a Benjamite, right? And having a close relations with the children of Israel. How do we have all of these interactions, such intimate interactions, with such a large, huge distance? Major cities, major countries being leapfrogged in order for us to get all the way down to Kenya. And then he tells you and I, that's where Jerusalem is. But then he tells you that another part of Israel is in Western Africa.
Time, family.
Ridiculous and absurd.
Woo! That was a good round. Jeremiah bring out some valid points when it comes to some of the archaeological evidence of Gath. It does say go up to Jerusalem in 2 Kings 12:17 through 18. He also made a valid point about Christ, and is there any way that you can prove that Christ actually rode on a horse? He said it's an actual donkey, so I'm curious to see music explanation on that. And he also brought up another valid point. He stated that the equator was actually north of Kenya. So hopefully music able to, respond to Jeremiah's valid points that he actually brought out in that round. So that was a good round. Music, just let Daquan know. When you're ready, this is actually the third round. We got one more round to go. So music, you gotta, got some explaining to do.
All right. Let me see something here.
Let me know when you're ready to go out.
All right, I sure will. Yeah, I'm about to be ready. Hold on, let me share my screen. Getting it ready. All right, can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, you good, brother.
All right, I'm gonna get started now. All right. Well,
all right, go ahead, Art.
He made some interesting details like that. We all know that the Messiah didn't ride on a horse because a horse meant war, you know what I'm saying? But there were donkeys, and a donkey goes 40 miles per hour, while a horse goes 50 miles per hour. It's called horsepower. But another mode of transportation that the Messiah got around in is boats. Matthew 8, the Messiah calms the storm. Then he got into the boat and his disciples. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on a lake so that the waves swept over the boat, not legs, boat. But the Messiah was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him saying, Adonai, save us. We're going to drown. All right, so we see that part. They're in a boat. Let's see if they're in another boat again. Oh, there's a boat again, right? When the Messiah saw a large crowd around, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the sea. How? Boat. When he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. So we see that they wasn't just walking all willy-nilly all over the place all the time. They was actually going in boats every now and again, right? And we see this the part where he said to Peter, where's your faith, right? Because he told him, like, if it's you, call me out on the water. And he says, come, right? And then he started to look around his surroundings, and like many of us do when he begin to drown, right? Because we have a little faith to believe that the Bible is actually saying something. Now, this is powerful right here. This is Bethesda right here, the Bethesda. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take y'all a little bit into a little bit of my, I'm gonna say it's a pickle right here, because we have a major pickle coming up, because there is some problems with this next round, because like something is not going to seem right. I'm just going to say that. I mean, I'm already sharing my screen. Can y'all see this? Or no?
You see the scriptures.
Y'all see the scriptures? Can y'all flee from the land of the north? Can y'all see that part?
We're looking
You
at
gotta blow
Mark
it up
4.
a little bit. You gotta blow it up.
All right, let me share it again. All right, there we go. Now can y'all see it?
Yeah.
All right, flee from the land of the north. All right, that's what we kicked off at. Now, this is very important. Why? You're about to see. Kingdom of Judah. Never forget your roots. This dude, like a lot of us, we're black, all right? Whether we want to believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Africa, whatnot, most people don't even understand that Africa is literally Middle East, right? Did you know that the so-called Middle East was Africa or Akubunland up until the 1885 conference in Berlin? So the whole place where he's pointing at saying his home, he says he hates Africa so much, don't even understand the place that he's pointing at for home is literally called Africa or Akubunland. The pickle, look at the irony for that, right? Let's go back to it. All right, the Kingdom of Judah. We got Jerusalem in this map. Let's make this bad boy big. Now, the funny thing is this. There is some discrepancies going on here, because we see clearly that this map that I have is way older than the modern maps that they have today. Here's Jerusalem, Bethlehem, the Gaza Strip, Hebron, which is supposed to be the place of Israel, Beersheba, Dan, Judah, and Jezreel, and Besor, the son of Besor, right? Here's Jerusalem right here. Here's Bethlehem right here. Here's the tribe of Judah. Here's Hebron. Here's Simeon. Up, if Judah's there, this is going to be where Negro land is, over there, because it says Kingdom of Judah. Now, what map says Kingdom of Judah? And where is the Kingdom of Judah at located? Let's go to one of those maps, shall we? Shall we do that? I think we should. Because someone got some explaining to do, because it's not making sense no more. Here's the Gaza. Here's we got Bethany right here. Here's Bethel right here. Here's Benjamin at the top that's been cut off, right? We have Besor. We have all these different names. Simeon, that's not showing up in the Levant that he wants it to be in, that he wants us to all believe. Here is a map that shows that. Here we got another map. Hold on. Oh, what is this? We got Hebron, Jericho, Beersheba, Gilgal, Desert of Seth, Nazareth, Zion, all these things right here. Where in the world are we going to do with all of these different lands now? Here goes Zion right here.
Music, try to blow up your screen a little bit better, for the audience.
Y'all can't see that? Hold on, I'm trying to make it.
Small. We can see it, but it's kind of small. So just make it a little bit bigger.
Dang it. I don't understand how that's working out. Let me try that again.
Just zoom it.
Yeah, I just zoomed it in right there. Let me do that again.
Try to cover the whole screen.
All right, let me do this then. All right, now can y'all see it? Y'all see my screen now?
We see it, but it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but go ahead.
Oh, dang it. All right. Dang, I'm trying to make it bigger. I'm trying to make it bigger, but it's not doing it. It's not. I hit this on here.
Okay, did you stop his time decline?
Yeah, I got the clock stopped.
Okay. I can see it. It's big for me. It's big on.
Make it bigger right here. What about now? Can y'all see it now?
Yeah, that's
now better. You're good. You're good right there. Perfect.
All right. So let's go back to that. All right. I appreciate.
So you got the 1050. You got the 1052. Go ahead.
All right, I appreciate that. All right. So we have all these different right here. We got Gilgal right here. Why is this important? Because Gilgal is from the very beginning before anything was split, right? We got Gilgal, we got Jericho, or just at the time when things actually was being split. Look at this. So Gilgal, what is Gilgal? What prophecy or what scripture is that? We have Elijah or Elisha, right, for that matter. Where is it? I'm just gonna go right here. Can y'all still see my screen? Can y'all see my screen still?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right, cool. right here. Elijah and Elisha were leaving where? Gilgal, when the Eternal One planned to snatch Elijah up into the heavens by the power of a fierce dancing wind. So we see where Gilgal is at, right here. This is in Kenya, East Africa. And I'm not saying all of Africa is comprised of the whole land, but the Father did say in the word that they have what? Divided up my land. They parted up my land. That was in what? Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3. It says what? That they parted my land. So we know that the land is not going to be all together. The land is going to be parted. Why? Because the scriptures give reference that his land is going to be divided. Let me show you that real quick. They have scattered among the nations and did what? Parted my land. They divided up my land. So it's going to have one part that might say in Zimbabwe, another part saying Namibia, another part saying anything, what they wanted, but it's all going to be one land, right? We don't know how huge the land is or whatnot, but we see that the land is being divided. Here's east of Jericho. Here's Jericho right here. Can y'all see these maps? Can y'all see Jericho? Can y'all see Mount Moriah right here? Bethlehem. Can y'all see all these things right here that the Bible's talking about? Bethlehem is very important. Here's the desert of Self right here. This is not in the land where he says it is. It's over in another portion of the land. And this map right here is way older than the map that most people actually look from. Look at it. Here is Nazareth also. Let's find Nazareth, shall we? Because Nazareth is about to be a doozy on this bad boy. So we got Issachar and we got Niger. Look where these parts going to be at. This is going to be part of towards the area of Negro land. Right here, we got Babylon. We got Ammon right here, which was in Babylon. Then we got also, I got Cream. I got all those. I got all these different kind of maps. Look at this. This is the land of the giants. Now we know that when they went over to the land, they said there were giants there, which was the Anunnaki, right? So let's go and look at that right here. The Anunnaki is what? The giants. And we see that where? That is not in the southern, that is nowhere in the Levant or anywhere in Palestine. Here is this thing called a giant. Can y'all see that giant right there? Can y'all see him? Giant.
Yeah, you good, we can see it.
And that says what? Ethiopia. So that's down low by here. That's nowhere up at the top. This is all at the bottom. Lower bottom. Babylonian city right here. Here is the land of giants. Now this is a way older map than what's going to be out here right now as well. So it's going to be, people were invested in putting out the truth. They just wanted to, put where things were normally at. Here go Libya. Look at these places. These places cannot be refuted. It can be refuted or denied right here. These are older maps, way older maps. This is where the Sahara Desert, Ethiopia. It was actually first called Lower Ethiopia and Upper Ethiopia. This is before anything was broken off. Over here, you see this? This is where it'd be the place or area he says that the land is over here. But we see a lot of action taking place over in this area. The places where I show where Nazareth and all that stuff at is over down in these areas. Nowhere near where he says it is at all, right? Where are we? Let me see. We got Kenya right here. We have Jericho. We have Jericho. We have Eglon, E-L-G-O-N. We have a lot of things that's just popping off just right here in this area alone that's shaming that area that they call home. This right here will be home. And it's going to be some ruins in these different areas that's still yet to be built back up, waiting for us to do so. The scriptures is real or they not, right? So we ain't going to let, superstition. Look at this. Ammon. We got Mombasa. We have Zion right here. We have even also one that says D Judah. Do I need to bring that one out too? But this is what the Father said, right? And I ain't gonna bring that one out yet. I'll bring that out later. We'll just stay right here and just cook on this part right here because this part is just really cooking. Here go Judah right here, tribe of Judah. How you gonna explain that? Bethany, Bethel, Benjamin, Hebron. Hello, this would be Israel right here. Everyone knows that Hebron, Jezreel. Come on now. And that right there would be Sudan right there, like Sudan, right in here, right? Again, this would not be over in the area, the top area, or Arabia or anything. This would be in a lower area. This cannot be refuted. This cannot be refuted. Bethlehem, where everyone says, what? This is where the Messiah was born at, right? Out of his mouth, he says that Bethlehem is where he was residing at. Here go Jerusalem. Here go Bethlehem. Someone got some explaining to do, right? Because they say Bethlehem and Jerusalem is over in the northern spot where the Negev is, and we see right here Jerusalem, Bethlehem in a lower part in an older, much older map. No one trying to change nothing. No one trying to.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes left.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. But we just looking at Judah right here. Tribe of Judah. Let's go look at a map real quick because help some people out real quick. Africa map.
If you don't mind me asking, how old is that map?
That map is pretty old. It's like probably like 1877. These maps are pretty old. Pretty old. Not new. So the area where they say that Jerusalem is not matching on the older maps. Someone changed some things to make it fit what they want it to be. So let's look for Judah on a map. Oh, the kingdom of Judah. Everyone know where this part is at. See how old this map is? Very old. And we know that the kingdom of Judah is going to be down in the lower area, nowhere in the upper area. So this map right here is saying kingdom of Judah or tribe of Judah. This is going to be in a lower area, family, nowhere in that topper area, family. Someone has literally been playing games, mind tricks with our people. Just like the scripture says right here, look at this, 1747, kingdom of Judah, right here, kingdom of Ueda. Can y'all see that?
1 minute left, family. Yeah, we can see it. We can see it. Keep blowing it up. We got 1 minute left. All
right. But right here, this is proven to be true. This is going to be the area where they're going to be actually what? Fighting from. Here goes the Shante right here. We're going to have a whole bunch of, we're going to have Levite over in this area too. Because we got what? The slave coast, which is kingdom of Judah. And we know this is the time when they was actually trying to cut everything down. So we know our land's going to actually be bigger than that. But right here, look, there's no cut down. There's no slave coast on this one at all. So this is going to be a much older map right here before we was becoming slaves. I yield the floor.
Time, family.
Go ahead.
All right. That was a good round. Very interesting, especially with the 1747 map showing the tribe of Judah, as well as the other locations. It looks like there's definitely some trickery going on with the location and probably trying to cover up the actual location. So I definitely on the slide would want to know a little bit more about that particular map and location. He did address that they went by boat as well. He also made a valid keynote that Africa was actually called Akabulan in 1885 for that particular landmass. Also in Joel 3:16 to depart from the land. And so he made some valid points in this third round. Jeremiah, we're going to turn it over to you to kind of go over some things and address what music just kind of went over. Quite interesting. This is the third round for Jeremiah. The next round will be the last round after that, which will be the fourth round. Let Daquan know when you're ready, Jeremiah.
I'm ready.
All right, Ak, it's 10:53. So you got to what you got to 11:10. So I'll give you to 11:10. Go ahead, Ak.
All right, family. Can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, you good, family.
All right. So, I mean, this is just weak as hell.
Jeremiah, just try to blow it up a little bit, Ak.
All right, Doc. All right, so listen, family. The Bible's significance is very great worldwide. So just because you can go to a couple of places named after biblical cities doesn't mean anything. I can do that here in America. This is the North American list, the list of biblical place names in North America. I can do exactly what he did. There's Bethlehem. I mean, there's Bethel. I mean, there's Canaan. I mean, there's Damascus. I mean, what do y'all, I mean, there's Hebron. He was so excited when he seen Hebron. There's Hebron, family. I mean, there's Jericho. Can you see Jericho? There's Jerusalem. There's Jordan. There's Lebanon. These are cities in America, family. These are cities in America. There's Nimrod, right? There's the Mount of Olives. There's Judah, right? This is in America. That don't mean a damn thing, okay? It doesn't mean nothing, all right? There's Bethlehem again. Multiple cities, right? Multiple cities. That just shows the influence of the Bible, okay? Right? Zion, there's Zion. He got super excited when he seen Zion, right? I don't mean a damn thing. So let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Can you put me on the main screen here? Can you put me on the main screen?
Yeah, you good, Ak?
No, I'm not good. Can somebody put me on the main screen? Right, where it says Yashar, right? Right? Hold my time, man. Hold my time. Can you put me on the main screen here?
Yeah, I got you, Ak.
Who's working the board here?
You are, and when you talk, you go to the only one talking that shows you.
Okay, no problem. All right, thank you. Dwight. All right. So again, I had to show this last time, right? I had to show this last time. It's very simple. This is a map of Negro land. I want to make this very clear. This Negro land has nothing to do with Kenya. Nothing. Let's make this very clear. This Negro land has nothing to do with Kenya. Why? This is Western Africa. Thousands upon thousands of miles away. So what makes you think you can go here and you say, oh, the land of Judah. Oh, the land of Bethlehem. Oh, that don't mean a damn thing. Here's Judah right here. All right? That doesn't mean nothing. You know why these lands were named after that? I'm going to read it to you, family. Remember, the brother asked him, how old is that map? That brother said, it's very old. I think it's like 1800. Let me make this clear, family. That ain't old at all. That's not old at all. I have the map. I have the map here. Let's go to Babylon or Timbuktu, man. Damn. Let me do it again. All right? Again, he said the map was 1800. What was going on? This is Babylon or Timbuktu, page 84. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman army under General Pompey captured Jerusalem when? In 70 AD. 70 AD. Almost 1,000 years before the 1800s. Almost. Well over 800 years. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governor of Palestine, where Palestine, during the period of the military governor of Palestine, many outrageous atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Wait a minute. They were already in Africa. They were already in Africa, and they fled into Africa from Africa. They were already in the western parts of Africa. They were already in the eastern parts of Africa. They were already in the southern parts of Africa. So when General Pompey and General Vespasian came and put a destruction to the children of Israel at Masada, they fled there to the land that they're already in. That is ridiculous and absurd. Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was full of Black Jewish slaves. Okay? So I want everybody to pay very close attention to these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, don't try to force something. So let's go to the archaeology, man. I'm not even going to deal with, let's just go with the archaeology, right? Let's see here. Hold up. Let's go to the archaeology. Can y'all see my screen? So
yeah, now you're good, Ark. We can see it now.
Okay, so now we're rebutting, taking out some time to rebut some of those things. Let's move on. The Dead Sea Scrolls, family. The Dead Sea Scrolls, one of the most significant artifacts that has been found. Some of the oldest records that we have of the Bible, which we all believe. We believe the Bible. Where was the Dead Sea Scrolls found? Was it found in Kenya? No. Was it found in Western Africa? No. Was it found in Southern Africa? No. Where was it found? Let's see. Let's look here. The Dead Sea Scrolls, also the Qumran Cave scrolls, are ancient Jewish religious manuscripts that were found in the Qumran caves in the Judean desert. Damn. So if you're holding a Bible, your Bible is legitimized by the Dead Sea Scrolls. Why, family, was the Dead Sea Scrolls found near the Judean River of the northern shore of the Dead Sea? In the West Bank. Where's that at, family? That's in the Levant. This is archaeology, family. This guy's talking about something can't be refuted. Show names of lands in Africa holding biblical names, but I can do the same thing in America, showing cities holding biblical names. Then say it's unrefutable. What's unrefutable is where these Dead Sea Scrolls was found. That's what's unrefutable. Where the Dead Sea Scrolls were located was in the Judean desert near the northern shore of the Dead Sea in the West Bank in the Levant. Facts. Many thousands of writings and fragments have been discovered in the Dead Sea area. Discovered in 1946. Right? Let's read on here. What else we got? Right? It says scholars construct the dates of these scrolls from the last 3 centuries BCE, and the 1st century CE. The texts have great historical, religious, and illustrations. Shalakia, logistics, significance, because they indicate the second oldest known surviving manuscript of the works, later included in the what? Hebrew Bible canon, along with the Deuteronomical and extra biblical manuscripts, which preserved evidence of the diversity of religions through in late Second Temple Jerusalem. Almost all of the Dead Sea Scrolls are held by the State of Israel in the shrine of the Book of the grounds of the Israel Museum, but ownership of the scrolls is disputed by Jordan and Palestine. So now we have locations. Jordan, Palestine, that's the Levant, right? By the Temple Mount, that's in Jerusalem. How could such a grand, the second oldest ancient manuscript ever found? Why was it not found in Africa? What the hell is it doing in the Levant? Many thousands of writings of fragments have been discovered in the Dead Sea Scrolls. They represent a remnant of large manuscripts damaged by natural causes or through human interference, right? With the vast majority holding only small scripts of text. However, a small number of as well preserved amongst indicates manuscripts have survived. This is found in the Levant, family, right? We have to take this in consideration, man. We have to take this in consideration, right? Let's get into some archaeology, right? The excavation of the ancient city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Where is Sodom and Gomorrah at, man? Is it in Kenya? Is it in Ghana? Is it in Egypt? Is it somewhere in Africa? Let's find out, family. The excavation of the ancient city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's get to some archaeology, family. There's a reason that this place is equated. I want to give you the biblical text. Genesis 19:24-25. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plains and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. So there must be some sort of remnant in the land that you're calling Sodom and Gomorrah. Should there be any remnant of brimstone? Should there be any remnant of charred or sheared land mass? Let's see. Let's see. Sodom and Gomorrah, right? As you can see here, these are the brimstones that fell from the sky. Not only this, my elders actually traveled to this land in the Levant. And I give credit, all praise and glory to the Most High for my elders being able to go there. Most High will, I'll be able to go there one day soon. To see these things and bring back the information to legitimize the Bible. Hey man, the Bible is real. We went to the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? What does it say here? For all you scientists out there, right? So could it be possible? What is the scientific explanation for the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah? December 11th, 2018. Notice, this is new information that I'm bringing to you, family. Quantifying the information in the Bible, meaning they had to have peer reviews and they had older texts and older archaeology to compare to have a greater understanding. A ground of archaeologists, Slovakia, a group of archaeologists and other scientists say they have discovered strong evidence that the region of the Middle Gore, where the city of Sodom and Gomorrah are believed to have existed, where in fact destroyed by a meteor that exploded. See, this is a scientific mind explaining what the Most High did, right? A meteor that exploded in the sky above, raining down superheated matter and raising temperatures of thousands, raising the temperature to thousands of degrees.
1 minute.
And the theory that matches the account of the city's destruction continues in the Old Testament book of Genesis. According to the theory, material exploded in a low altitude with the force of a 10 mega atomic bomb at an altitude of about 1 kilometer over the northern corner of the Dead Sea. Where? That's a location, Dead Sea, right? And obliterated over the civilization in the 25 kilometers wide circular plain that constituted the Middle Gore. So what we have here, family.
Time, family.
All right.
All right. Woo! Getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is the Lions Den Debate Source Think Production Black Jesus Minister collaboration all in one. I want y'all to take some notes and take some good ones, because we getting down to the last round, and we will find out who will lead with the crown. That's right. We finna find out who gonna lead with the crown. Will it be Jeremiah, please say the Yah, Mr. Hananel, or will it be Music Soul Child? That's what I'm talking about. Both competitors is coming out swinging and throwing haymakers and blows, talking about horses and donkeys and mountains. It's time to get down to the business. So with that being said, let's go into this fourth round. Go ahead, tell them when they can go.
All right. Man.
Let me know when you're ready, Ak.
All right, I'm getting ready right now. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, you good, Ak.
All right, cool beans. All right.
So it's 11:10. You got your 11:25. Go ahead, Ak.
All right, appreciate that. All right, so it's been a long drawn out. So all right, let's go ahead. So earlier, he just typed in any kind of site, to look up different kind of maps and everything, or just to look up different cities. Most cities usually repeat, right? But this is from a map, and clearly on my map, it said where it was from. It didn't say anywhere. It didn't say anything about Colorado. It didn't say anything about New York. So that is very specific, very specific. So like when you go to a location, if you go to that location, you should find that same location there. But we know these biblical texts is going to have places elsewhere. It's going to be important. It's not going to be in America, you know what I'm saying? Because the Father looked at the nations as nothing. Now, with that being said, there is a southern hemisphere as well as a northern hemisphere. Now, these things are very important because the Father is going to literally he's going to settle from these areas, right? This is where he is going to rule from these areas, right? So let's look at some things here. All right. All right. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So we see that these equinoxes are taking place at certain times of years, like March 20th and 21st of March, 22nd, 23rd of September, right? So during the March, springtime in the northern hemisphere, right? So this will be on America's timeline, right? March is called what? Vernal equinox. So it's a spring equinox. So while it's fall in the southern hemisphere, it is springtime in the northern hemisphere. So in other words, March equinox, which will be right now, our time, it is springtime in the UK, United States of America, Canada, Russia, India, and China. While it is what? Autumn time in Australia. Argentina, Chile, New Zealand, and South America or South Africa, right? So the
Hey,
time is
music.
different. Huh?
Hey, music, I got a little question.
Go ahead.
Okay, stop the
No,
time.
Lion, wait, the questions after
You're
the
not
round.
able to ask questions
Afterwards,
until
bro.
after it's over.
My bad.
Okay. Daquan, did you stop his?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you another minute back. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. So similarly, during September, it is what? Autumn time or fall in the northern hemisphere. And September equinox is called autumn equinox. So fall equinox, while it's springtime in the southern hemisphere, and September equinox is called vernal equinox and spring equinox. So in other words, on September equinox, it is fall in the United States of America, UK, Canada, Russia, India, and China, while it is New Year's in Australia, Argentina, Chile, New Zealand, and South Africa. So we can see that there is a total different seasons. Seasons are going on at the same time, right? Now, the Father says he hates unjust balances. Unjust balances. So unjust balances are literally stuff that he hates. So no matter what I show, no matter what he shows, the Father is going to prove everything. The locations where we choose have got to measure up to Proverbs 11. If not, it's not the word. The word is the word. The Most High detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. No matter what we want to believe and what we want to make believe true, this is what it is. Dishonest scales are abomination. Now, when you scale the Negev or scale Israel, so Israel close to the equator, how close is to it? Because we know the equator is going to be close to 0, which will be balance. So when we got Israel on the map, where does it fall at? On the equator, where they say location is. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay. There it is right here. Here we go. Let's make this bigger. All right. So look where they got Israel. Israel is not even on the line. It's up at the top. It's going to be right here, but it's already at 23.5. Is that balance, family? No, it's not at all. But look at this 0 equator. Look where it's at. It's showing that where Africa is. Now look at this line where this is hidden at. It's at 0. Now the Father says in his word in Jubilees, but look at these different areas. Most people don't even know about this. The sub-Saharan Africa. Most people didn't know about this. Right? The ancient and medieval sub-Saharan African states. Look at this one here. Kingdom of Canaan. Almost like Canaan. K-A-N-E-M. Kingdom of Canaan. Right? Look where it's at. It's not over here. This is what area he's pointing at. This is the area where we're looking at. This is the kingdom of Cush. So it puts everything out in a chronography as he was speaking about. Look at this kingdom right here. It's called Mapungaway. Now, Mapungaway is something very spectacular. For those who don't know what Mapungaway is, let me bring it out to you. It might be an ancient ruin, right? Because the scriptures talk about ancient ruin, South African ruins. Look at these ruins. They're still here. Still here. In fact, Dr. Mumby has done a show where it was a state who literally came back and gave back the birds to this place that was taken many, many years ago. You can fact check that. Look it up. Dr. Mumby just did a show here recently. Look at these different castles. This is what dragons. The Bible talks about how your land will be inherited with dragons and all other kind of things. Look at these different ancient monuments that are still there, ruins that's still left here. Where is that at in the so-called place in Palestine? Where these circle, where are these at? Right here. Huh? Where that's at? Many people just don't want to see. Look at these ancient ruins that's still there. They did not remove them. They're still here, family. ancient ruins. Why? Because the scripture says that what? We have to go back and build up the waste places. They shall return to build up the waste places. So we could try to run from that if we want to, but we can't. This is scripture. It says, "In your ancient ruins shall be rebuilt. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repair of the breach, the restore of the streets to dwell in." We are supposed to go back home and rebuild home, right? Now, getting back to the land again. The Father says everything got to be balanced. So he knew the Garden of Eden was the Holy of Holies, right? So if the Holy of Holies is going to be the place where the Most High is dwelling at in Jubilees chapter 6, verse 19. Also, the scepter of the wicked will not rest upon the land allotted to the righteous. That means the wicked cannot get our land whatsoever. So when we look at Africa, equator, it fits where? Perfectly on 0. So right there, look at here. Look at all these different lands that's right here. Get a good look because we're going to see them again. You are being redirected. Sure, go there, whatever. Wrong place. Let's just view this fact. All right. Look at this. The Democratic of the Congo. Look where it's at on the equator. Right there on that 0. And we see where the 0. So that's where the temple is going to be at. The temple is going to be right here. Why? Because we see that this is going to be balanced. The Democratic of the Republic of the Congo. Look right here. Look how huge this land is, right? And I'm not just dealing with Kenya. We're dealing with south, east, and west of what Africa is. Why? Because these different lands are here. Because Negro land is going to be up in here. We got Congo right here. We got Gabon right here. We got Uganda. We got Kenya right here. We got Somalia. All of these areas right here are our lands. I never once said that Kenya is all it. No, I never said that. I said Mount Kenya is where Mount Zion would be at. That's what I said. But everything else is going to be comprised also with the Congo, Gabon. There's a whole bunch of things that actually comprise in this one land. And if I had more time, I can actually prove that. I'm already showing some stuff already that most people don't know about. The Father says, look, the scepter of the wicked will not rest upon the land allotted to the righteous. What does that mean? That means that this land right here that they call Israel in Palestine, look, it's called, Palestine is called Israel. Palestine. It's not by its own self, just Israel. No, it's Palestine. And then inside of Palestine, on a Britannica, it calls it Israel. Area of the Eastern Mediterranean region comprising parts of modern Israel. It's not ancient Israel, modern. Modern means that we have just made it. Now we know about revisionism, the same people who have revised the Bible, revised Noah, revised all the books of the Bible right now that we see in theaters right now is the same ones who was revitalizing this land called Palestine and naming it Israel. They're calling it what they want to call it. But the Bible in Jubilee said that we're going to be following the Gentiles after their ignorance and after their error, This Bible talks about it in Jubilees. We're going to be following their feast days, following their Sabbaths after the Gentiles. We're going to be following them. And that's exactly what we have been doing. So let's look at Mapungaway. That is an ancient city that most people don't even know about. And we just got through seeing it, right? Mapungaway. I just spelled it wrong. I butchered the crap out of that name, but it should bring it up still anyway.
You got 3 minutes remaining.
Oh, wait. African ruins, South Mapungaway. Right here. We got the Kingdom of Mapungaway. Now, the Kingdom of Mapungaway is very important. Why? Look at this. Kingdom of Zimbabwe. We got all these different kingdoms right here. Look who's got it. The UNESCO, the World Heritage Sites. It says that our land will be given over to the nations. Most people don't even know about this. But it talks about how this has been called also the hill of jackals. Now, why is this important? Because in Isaiah, it talks about how the jackals will praise me for providing water where? In the desert for my chosen, my people. Right here, Isaiah 43. Now, this is nowhere in the place where he's showing that, but this is showing it in our homeland. Behold, I'm about to do something new. Even now it's coming. Do you not see it? Indeed, I will make a way in the wilderness and streams in the what? Desert. This is not the Negev or the Levant. The animals of the field will honor me. The jackals and the owls. Now, he just said himself that the owls are extinct over, or the animals are extinct in his lands, right? Because I provide water in the wilderness. But over here, there's no extinction of any kind of animals. These animals are still going strong, right? Because I provide water in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my chosen people. The people I form for myself, I will declare my praise. So look at this. We see the jackals. And we just got through seeing right here. It's called what? The hill jackals. The name I mean, hill of jackals. What? Mapungaway. When it actually means the kingdom in the Bantu language of the Almighty. This Mapungaway means Almighty, the kingdom of the Most High. This is literally where his temple would be at, and is right there, on the equal part of the equator, right here, right here. Look at all these equator countries. So when you start to get into that, we're going to start to look in this. Most people don't even know about this, but we're going to bring this out. It's called equatorial Africa. Most people don't know about that. So we can literally go straight to the place where we need to go to, because all we got to do is say equatorial Africa. And it's going to bring up French equatorial Africa. And we know the French had us as slaves, right? We know that. It brings up a whole nother different part of Africa that most people are not privy to. Why? Because this is the part that's been hidden from humanity. The world says that we have inherited lives. Look at this. Central African Republic, Chad, Gabon, Republic of the Congo. All these things are coming from French territories, and the French did have us, the Portuguese had us, all these different lands are starting to come up under the name Equatorial Africa. Why? Because it is pinpoint of what it is. You're not dealing with Africa no more. You're dealing with exactly the territories that was taken from us, and it's right here in your face. This cannot be denied. He could try to deny it if you want to, but it's all right here. Look at this. We got stamps on just half of where they took our lands at. Look at this.
Time, family, time.
Yeah.
Ooh. We already at the last round, and we're gonna have to determine who the champ is in a bit. So I'm curious to hear Jeremiah's final round. Music brought out some good things. Palestine originally called Israel. First time I ever heard of Kingdom of Matabaway, meaning the Kingdom of Almighty. So he brought out some archaeological evidence as well. Very interesting round. I'm curious to hear what Jeremiah's response will be. Judges, please pay close attention, because this is the last round. And we're going to be getting into the questions round after this final round with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, please let Daquan know when you're ready to start.
Woo! Y'all ready?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, man. All right. Daquan, you there? Is he still on? Did we lose? Did we lose him?
Daquan, are you there?
I will start the time.
Okay, Judah is going to take the time.
So really what's going on?
I need to take the time, you say?
All right. Yashar, go ahead and finish. Yeah, Yashar got it. He got other timekeeper.
I got a lot going on in my background right now.
Okay, well,
yeah, Judah, go ahead and do the time.
All right, it's 10:28. Your time starts now.
Okay.
Yeah, you get 45 to 43, 10:43. Go ahead.
All right, family. So I did a quick Google search on the distance between Gabon and Kenya. And it's very interesting, family. Guess what? It is 5,392 miles. 5,392 miles. Christ walked. Okay, he took a boat here and there, but Christ walked, family, to these different locations, right? There were interactions, there was trade, there was relationships between the land. Like I told you all before, these guys want to make the whole damn continent of Africa, you want to make that Israel. That's ridiculous, man. That doesn't fit the biblical narrative when you're looking at the relationships between the travels that went on. Remember, you had Herod during the time of King Herod, who had a son, Antipas Herod, which was in Galilee. Galilee is in the north, the northern, very northern tip of Israel. You have to take in consideration what this guy is saying. Notice, when he showed the map of those ruins, none of those ruins, underneath the caption of those ruins, none of them equated themselves to Israel. All of those ruins were equated to some ruin in Africa. It was not equated to a particular place in Israel. Let me share my screen. All right. If we're using the Bible and we're looking at what's going on with the biblical narrative in the Bible, we have to take these things in consideration. So as I left off earlier, we were dealing with the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. Tell him to show us Sodom and Gomorrah. Show us the ancient ruins where there's sulfur on the rocks. Tell him to show us. He can't show us. You know why? Because he don't know what the hell it is. This is a map of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? In southern, as the scripture says, in the southern part of the Dead Sea, Sodom and Gomorrah, which were the two cities that were destroyed, right? We have to take these things in consideration. Remember, we had the shofar, right? As the scientist says, the meteor that exploded, right, and rained down fire and brimstone upon the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. Why is he not dealing with that? Here's more ruins, right? The ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah. More ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah in the land of the Levant. Now, this picture was taken by my elder who actually went there. All right. Let me show you all. This is my elder actually in the land, sent me a picture of him actually there. Okay. Let's see here. Actually there in the land. Y'all can look at my screen where my face would be. This is my elder. Elder, shout out to Elder Matatawa, right? My elder actually there, right? And so, and also, when you look, right? Shout out to Elder Karatazar Allah, who was there as well. Elder Karatazar Allah. This is a picture of what? Sodom and Gomorrah. They're not just saying this, family. This is lining up with the archaeology from the sulfur that is found in the actual land that's there. So it's archaeology and historical evidence that's lining up biblically with this particular land. Here's another picture that he took with his own hands of the actual place of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not just showing you ruins. I'm telling you what the ruins are. Not only am I telling you, but the ruins themselves are telling you. So now let's deal with some more archaeology. This is the Moabite stone. This is the Moabite stone. Guess where it was found? Was it found in Kenya? Was it found in Ghana? Was it found in any part of Western Africa? No. Let's read. The Mesha Stela, also known as what? The Moabite stone, is a stela, inscribed stone set up around when? 840 BCE. Why is he not giving you no archaeology? Why is he showing you ruins that have names of places in Africa without equating those places to the Bible? 840 BCE by King Mashaba of Moab. Moab, that's where's Moab in the land of Africa? Where's Moab? Huh? Show us Moab, brother. You can't show us because it's nowhere over there. When it says what? A kingdom located in where? Modern Jordan. Where's modern Jordan at? Oh, yeah, it's in the Levant. Mashaba tells us the god of Moab had been angry with his people and had allowed them to be subjected to who? Israel. But at length returned and assigned Mesha to throw off the yoke of Israel and restore the land of Moab. So on this actual stone, it makes mention of Israel. Mesha describes his many building projects. Some say it is written in the Phoenician alphabet, but others say it is written in the Old Hebrew script, which is closely related. The stone was discovered intact, right? Intact in August of 1868. Right? Let's move on here. What is this? What is this? Uh-oh. The seal of King Hezekiah. Where is this man artifacts? Remember, this is the last round. This man has showed 0 artifacts, family. 0. This is something that is dated to the antiquities and aligned with the biblical text. Look at what I'm presenting, family. This is unrefutable, and this is found in the Levant. This wasn't found in Kenya, family. This is the seal of Hezekiah. Let's read. The Hezekiah seal bulla is a 3 milliliter thick, soft bulla piece of clay with the impression of a seal measuring 3 by 12. It is found in an archaeological excavation together with 33 other seal fragments and let me see here. Okay, in an ancient refuse dump adjacent to the Temple Mount in where? Jerusalem, by Israeli archaeologists. See this, family? These are ancient artifacts equating King Hezekiah, one of the greatest kings in Israel, actually finding his seal. Where did he find it? In Kenya? No. This is the last and final round, family. He has shown you nothing. He has shown you nothing. The bullock in the excavation in 2015, notice, I'm bringing you modern archaeology, was dated to the reign of Judean King Hezekiah between 716 and 686 BCE. So that means it's going back all the way in time dealing with these things, family. Come on, man. I hope you judges are paying attention, man. Right? And bears an inscription in Paleo-Hebrew script, family, belonging to Hezekiah, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, and a two-winged sun, with wing turned downward, right? It's just talking about the inscription itself, right? Let's move on here. More archaeology. What is this? This is a stone that was found in the Levant, in the land of Israel, bearing the name of Yasharallah, right? Bearing the name of Jerusalem, right here. Let's read. An ancient, so like a unique 2,000-year-old stone inscription unearthed in Israel has thrilled archaeologists. The find is the first full spelling of what? Jerusalem. Why is Jerusalem another find in the Levant of Jerusalem? On a stone inscription. Archaeologists recently confirmed, recently as what? As 2018. I am bringing you modern archaeology, which can be compared to ancient archaeology or old times archaeology back in the 60s. I'm bringing you modern archaeology, family. Recently confirmed, the artifact was found last winter during the excavation in the area of Jerusalem International Convention Center, known as the part of a stone column, right, in Jerusalem. Let me move on here. But more archaeology, right? And this had to be during the time of the wickedness of the children of Israel, but yet they created a stone incision depicting the Most High Yahweh, which they was not supposed to do, right? But if we're looking at archaeology and we're looking at antiquity, let's read about this. This artifact is about the national god of Iron Age kingdom of the Samaritans and Judah. For the modern Jewish concept of God, seeing God in Judaism and God in Abrahamic religions, for the name of what? Yahweh, or the Tetragrammaton. And it's, let's see, all right, yeah. And see the Tetragrammaton for other use. See the name Yahweh, which we know what the true name is, was the national god of the kingdom of Israel or Samaria and Judah. His origins reaches as least to the early age of approximately the late Bronze Age. Look at the dates. I ain't going back to the 1800s. I'm going BC, right? Understand that, right? Let's move on here. Hold up, let me read this. And the oldest biblical literature, he is the storm god and warrior deity who led the heavily armed armies against Israel's enemies. At that time, the Israelites worshiped Yahweh, right? So as we can see here, we're looking at archaeology that can be uncovered, right? So let's deal with the Salt Sea, right? So if we're looking at the Salt Sea, there are characteristics in the Salt Sea that cannot be refuted. I need him to show me a Salt Sea in Kenya. Show me a Salt Sea in Kenya, right?
1 minute remaining.
Right, all right. So hold up, man, this video, I'm trying to play a video. This brother and play multiple videos. I'm trying to get one off, right? And of course, it will not play. Give me a second, family, because y'all held the time up for him, right?
Okay.
Y'all held the time up for him, so give me a second.
All right.
Okay.
I'm trying to show the significance of the salt sea, because the Dead Sea is referenced in the scriptures as the salt sea. And I'm going to show you these particular qualities in the salt sea, but this video is not playing at all.
Give one more minute. Give one more minute, Doc.
Right. So for those that don't know, if you go to the salt sea, it's almost impossible for you to sink. You could just sit there and float in the water because of the density of the water, right? And I was going to show you underneath the water. I was going to show you the piles of salt that's underneath the water, which give the water its particular qualities, which is mentioned in the scriptures, right? This is what we're calling the Dead Sea, is actually the salt sea, and you cannot manipulate this. This is very unique in all the world, right? So this cannot be refuted. This is made mention of in the scriptures. I brought this out in my first debate with this brother about the salt sea. He never addressed it. He never spoke about it. Also, he never spoke about the distance between the lands. I shown that what he was showing on the map. I showed you the difference to Kenya, 5,000 some odd miles. Christ ain't walking on 5,000 miles, family. All right. And he didn't take no boat that stretches 5,000 miles either. All right. You know how long that boat ride would be? All right. So listen, I pray that you all are taking in these things in consideration. I'm done with that, man. I'm gonna just finish up. So I showed you archaeology. I showed you the Moabite stone. I showed you Hezekiah's seal. I showed you the stone of Jerusalem. I showed you the Sodom and Gomorrah. I showed you the map. I showed you the artifacts, right? I also showed you a multitude of things. I showed you the ancient land of Goth. These things was uncovered in 2018, modern archaeology, right?
All right, time, family. All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that was it. That was the last and final round. These brothers went in on each other, man. So now we're gonna let them ask each other just 2 questions apiece. Let me get to the judges since they had 4 rounds. It's getting late. Everybody ready to wrap it up. So 2 questions. You got 2 questions apiece, and you got 2 minutes to answer. Okay. We don't want to get into no long lecture. Answer as best you can in 2 minutes. Then we're gonna go straight to the judges. So your mind, you can ask them a question first.
We get 2 questions.
Yeah, 2 questions, family. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Do you have an answer to the question of the Moabite stone and the Hezekiah seal being found in the Levant? Do you agree with archaeology? Yes or no?
Well, as it shows in the book of Jubilees that they removed a lot of stuff that they had ruined and put it in the place where they needed to be at. That's also in the book of Maccabees, where they said they removed some of the ruins or some of the plunder that they took from Jerusalem, and they put it in a place where they wanted to be at. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. You can find it anywhere if they probably, plunder it from somewhere else and then put it.
I'm saying who plundered?
Who plundered?
Yeah.
It will literally be. It talks about that in the book of Maccabees. It talks about Epicus. He was the one who actually Ethiopia. Let me find him real quick, because he's definitely in the book of Maccabees. It's a passage that speaks about what he did, and that's exactly what you pretty much is pulling up, is what they allow us to see, pretty much for the most part. So the book of Maccabees, chapter 1, in the Catholic book, it shows your answer right here. Bring it up right here. Scroll down to it. Instantly breaking into the sanctuary, he removed. This one's trying to give us. Can y'all see my screen? Y'all can't see my screen, right?
No.
All right, hold on. I got it right here. All right, so family, this is easily talked about in the book of Maccabees, where they took some things from our land and put them in certain areas. Right here, Antiochus, when the kingdom was seemed secure, Antiochus undertook his kingdom. He went after Egypt, then he went back for ours, Israel, right? He returned and went against Israel and against Jerusalem with a strong force, right? He took away the golden altar, the lampstand for the light with all utensils. Even Babylon the Great, when they came over and attacked us, they took what? The vessels, they took the cups, and we know vessels are. When he drunk from them, that's when the writing on the wall came, and that's when he got judged, and that's when the Medes and the Persian end up getting that kingdom. You know what I'm saying? The offering table, cups, bowls, golden censers, curtains, corners, golden ornaments, all the stuff he took off, the precious vessels. Even talked about also in Joel chapter 3, where the father comes out and says that they took, you know, a lot of my possessions and they put them in their own temples. They put them in their own place. So we can see that right here.
Hold up, brother. Are you saying that the Hezekiah seal was a precious possession?
No, what I'm saying is that any of the things that we would possess or have, that it's no wonder that they would actually take it and plunder it and put it somewhere else.
1 minute remaining to answer the question.
I asked you about the Moabite stone, and I asked you about Hezekiah's seal.
Well, the Moabite stone, when you say stuff like that, I mean, right here, the area where you was talking about with Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot chose that area, but Abraham chose a whole different spot. The father said, you see before you, now he done took this land. The father says what? That will give you land that's where? From the north, south, east, and the west. After Lot had departed, where did he go to? Sodom and Gomorrah. The place is going to be destroyed. Abraham's place was not destroyed. Said to Abraham, now lift up your eyes from the place where you are and look to the north, south, east, and west. So the different areas where you're looking at, like, I mean, it's not really beneficial to where our offspring is going to be at. So Sodom and Gomorrah, that's whoopee-doo. They got punishment. But Abraham, who chose another lot outside of that land, was not destroyed. That's what I'm saying right here. It doesn't make sense.
I didn't ask you about Sodom and Gomorrah, brother. I asked you about the Moabite stone and Hezekiah's seal.
But we're talking about the land where it is, like Hezekiah's seal, when like that, they could take that. They can definitely take that and put that wherever they want that to be. That's what I'm saying to you. Even like you said, modern archaeological, where I'm looking for ancient, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that's nowhere people ain't got nothing to prove. Modern, they can make anything where they want to. If they're gonna make a Zionist state called Israel,
no, these things were dated, they were dated back into antiquity. But I'm saying that they were uncovered with modern archaeology, bro. The science of archaeology has advanced.
Right.
So I'm asking you about Hezekiah's seal and the Moabite stone, which is of the Moabite king, making mention of Israel, and it's telling you that that's Moabite is the modern day Jordan, brother.
Actually not, because there's I got maps that actually show Jordan somewhere else. I got maps that's showing different places, you know what I'm saying, other well, you know what I'm saying, not in the same area you're talking about. There's different areas where
it's not what I'm talking about. This is archaeology.
Okay, well, they can lie too. I mean, just like, you know, saying NASA is liars, and just like they can pay a lot of people to actually do a lot of lying. Because right here we got Levi, Judah, Jericho, Gilgal, Nazareth, Mount Zion.
The answer is that archaeology.
Okay, hold on, family. Let's go ahead and wrap this question up so we can move on to the next one.
All right, I'm about to give it over to him. So basically, your answer is that archaeology is lying. That's your answer, right?
My answer is literally that we've seen here with the book of Maccabees that they can take lands from us or take things from us. They store weapons, provision, depositing their plunder they had collected from Jerusalem. So if it came from Jerusalem, that would be part of plunder, and it became a great snare. So they put these things on display in the area where they want us to look at, so it becomes a great snare for those who look at it. Oh, this must be Jerusalem. Why? Because look at these artifacts over here. When we see right here, it says they're going to plunder, and they're going to put them in a place where they want them to be at to become a great snare to those who will see it.
So they plundered Hezekiah's seal. That was a great plunder.
No one's saying that. What I'm saying is they took.
Okay, Mirza, go ahead and ask your question, family.
All right. Why are there many locations to where the real land is. That needs to be addressed. Like, we got two clearly lands here. We got the desert of South. We got King David. We got Mount Zion right here. We got Nazareth, where the Messiah was born at. We got Gilgal. We got Jericho. We got Mount Moons. We got Levi. We got Judah. All this is comprised in East Africa on the same map that you have over there that says Negro land. And all these same things that says on Negro land is going to say the same things you have on that map over there, proven and evident, and that you have in your possession, showing Nazareth, Mount Zion, Jericho, Gilgal, Gilgal, all that stuff in your possession. Why there's so many?
Let me answer you. All right. And I believe that I did this already. I believe I answered you. All right, but I'll answer it again. The children of Israel fled in 70 AD into Africa. They did not go and populate initially. They went to certain populated areas, but eventually they migrated westward where there were less populated lands so they can establish their own culture. All right, let me go into the Babylon of Timbuktu. I got 2 minutes, right? So it says what? This Babylon of Timbuktu, and this is your answer, right? It says what? The Black Jews, this is Babylon of Timbuktu, page 90. The Black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. Why? They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them of a constant predecessor for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the Black Jewish culture, the Jews were able to absorb into the Jews were not absorbed into the Anacossinist population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity that they were industrious and skillful people. The Jews of Ghana states were found kings, princes, governors, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, archaeologists, engineers, doctors, historians, right? So all of these people were found in Ghana, in the Western Africa, and they started to name the lands after their homeland, which they fled from years ago, 70 AD. So they had a connection and understanding because they carried their laws and their written record and their history with them. So they started to name certain areas in Western Africa after their homeland because they started to dominate the area, creating such a civilization such as Timbuktu, such as Mali, such as Ghana, right? And building these civilizations and the surrounding smaller towns and cities that they built as they started to name them after their homeland, taking claim of their history and culture and reaffirming it in the land in which they were. I yield the floor.
All right. Okay. Now we're down to the last question, and then we're gonna go straight to the judges. So Jeremiah, it's your turn to ask him one more question. And then your music, you got a couple minutes to answer.
All right.
Okay. So I want to go into the Bible. My question is concerning the validity of the understanding that you're operating with. The validity of the understanding that you're operating with. My question to you, brother, have you told me and a multitude of other people, right, that you are one of the watchmen in Revelation chapter 11?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything about the ancient lands?
Because it does.
Let's stick to the topic, family. I mean, I'm trying to be fair here.
It has something to do with the validity of the mindset of the person who's delivering the information unto the people.
Okay, well, answer the best way you can, family.
He did, right? So
he
now,
answered it?
Yeah, he answered.
Okay, well, now it's music's turn to ask you one more question, then we go to the judges.
Hold up, I wanted to read one scripture if I could, and then I'll yield the floor over. Is that okay?
You got to ask music, I mean, because it's really just question and answer.
I just want to read one scripture. I'm not going to say a word.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that command themselves. But they measure themselves by themselves, comparing themselves amongst themselves. They are not wise. I yield.
Okay, family. All right, music. Go ahead and hit your last question, then we're gonna go to the part everybody been waiting for, the judges.
All right.
Go ahead, music.
All right, that part of comparing themselves by themselves, like literally people going off of different titles that they gave, and that would be like, you know, like captain this, general this, you know what I'm saying? I got the word from general so-and-so. I got the word from captain so-and-so. You know, everyone, all of the people who are in here rocking stars and everything like that are literally naming themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing like the Pope does. Everyone don't know that the Pope chooses his own name. The Messiah says that I come in my Father's name, but he says that, but you will accept people who come in their own name. That's everybody right now. So Bishop Nathaniel's coming in his own name and all that kind of stuff. So I want to know.
Is that a question, music, or just a statement you're doing?
I'm just making a statement, but I'm going to ask a question.
Like, I mean, let's stick to the premise, man. Go ahead and get a question in, and then it's getting late. We want, you know, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast.
Okay.
So go ahead and ask the question.
Since Father is dealing with the scriptures, Proverbs 11. Now, this right here is going to be done before, you know, the Most High, witnesses, angels, everything. So this stuff is going to be brought up again when we have to die and go see him again. All of this stuff right here, you know what I'm saying, is going to be brought up. Now, we've seen where the scripture says that the Father hates unjust balances. He hates dishonest scales. You know what I'm saying? I brought this stuff out, showing where the scales are at, where the equator is. And we know the equator is 0. And we know that's balance right there because 0, right?
Music. We're going to let you, look,
I'm asking him a
Get
question.
1 minute to close out, but let's go ahead and ask him a question instead of going into,
I'm asking him a question.
Recap.
I'm asking him right here. Can he honestly say that the Most High is going to choose a place that is going to be at 30 degrees versus 0 degrees? Now, this is done before the Most High, the angels, and everything. This is going to have more consequences long after this debate is over. So if you're trying to do something to try to save faith or whatever, that's on you. But you're going to have to answer this question again because the books was opened up, right? So I'm asking you, can you honestly say that the Most High is going to choose his location in the location where you're set at versus the Father says he detests dishonest scales? That means it's going to be at a accurate weight. He's going to place his position, his temple, in a place that is going to be balanced. And if it's not balanced, he's not going to choose there. So can you honestly say that the Most High is going to choose his place over in a place where modern Israel is, or modern Jerusalem is, or all these modern places where all these revisionism right now, when we have Negro land and all these different places showing Jerusalem and Bethlehem in different locations, can you honestly say right here that the Most High has chosen modern Israel, modern Jerusalem to place his temple at? And if so, why is there the synagogue of Satan right there in the same location?
All right, thank you. Let me answer the question so we can get on with this, all right? Damn, it took a long time to get that out, brother.
Hey, it's important because you got to answer this question again.
All right, brother. All right.
Hold up, y'all. Look, we doing good. Let's don't start clowning, man. With people watching. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it respectful. All right, come on.
All right, so basically he says that why are the Gentiles in the land of where the Most High, in the Most High's chosen land? Here's my answer. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. This is exactly the land of Israel in the Levant That is the land of Israel. It's not in Africa at all. Nowhere in the scripture do it say the land had to be lined up with the equator. That's nowhere in the Bible. All right. Here's my answer. Luke 24, 21, 24. And it reads, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the Gentiles' time, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. That's my answer.
So that's your answer. So the fact that
that's
Africans,
all right, that's
are
it.
not
That's it.
Gentile, because Africans are in the land too.
Hey, Jeremiah, that's it.
I got it. That's it, music. Okay, hey, all right. Everybody, they went back and forth. They threw haymakers, they threw blows, they threw low blows. So at one point in time in the fight, that's what happened when you're in a war. Now, what we're gonna do right now, we finna head to the judges' table, and we finna find out who is gonna be the Lions Den Debate League Source champion.
Hey man, can you ask him to take down the Duck Duck Goose, please?
Okay, come on, man. You're messing up my monologue. All right, hold on. Go ahead and take that down, man. Go ahead.
All right.
We can get everybody face up. All right. Can you? All right. Now, I'm gonna go to one of the first judges that we got on here. The brother, his name is Seven, I think. Are you still there, my dear brother? Hello? Oh, come on. All right. Do we still got 5 judges?
JJ, y'all don't put.
Y'all microphones are on mute automatically. You got to unmute it in order to speak. So it's not going to just unmute you automatically. You have to unmute.
You got me on. You can hear me.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Nah, man. Hey, yeah, it's real. So, I mean, it's pretty close, man. What y'all are talking about, man. Both of y'all made some good points, man. Like that brother, the brother in the blue, he made a good point with them Dead Sea Scrolls. He made a good point right there. But like some of them archaeological sites, I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't be trusting them people's research, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't be trusting what them folks say, especially them Ashkenazi people. And see, that's where this other brother that just got through speaking, he made some good points too about the synagogue of Satan. Because that's really what they are. Them Ashkenazi and them Yiddish people, they a bunch of imposters, you know what I'm saying? And they masquerading and they going about doing some things that are masquerading. I read, man, it's really a close call, man. Both of y'all made some good points, man. But it's real hard determining that location. You know what I'm saying? And that brother, he's right too about that eastern part right there, going up that land. That was Al-Kibalon. And another thing that separated that was not just that Berlin conference, but also that so-called Suez Canal. And I believe it was one of them Rothschilds that brother mentioned earlier that had a hand in helping build that Suez Canal right there. But I mean a historical reference that kind of positions some of the I guess what you would say the original people that are the remnant of the Hebrew people. You know what I'm saying? Of that tribe of people who dwelt in the Middle East or in the African regions right there, or, you know, going from both standpoints of what y'all talking about. Dr. Yosef Ben Jarkana, he's a source that I read a lot of my information from with that stuff right there with the original Hebrew people, you know what I'm saying, or what they would call the Falasha Yehudis. You know what I'm saying? They do position themselves, or he positions them right there around Nubia, Ethiopia, and Kenya in that region right there. But I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man, and I really didn't hear nobody talk about Mount Moriah, what they thought about Mount Moriah, where King Solomon's temple is supposed to be, because they try to say that that's where the Mosque of Omar, which is for the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? That's where they position the Mosque of Omar at, is on Mount Moriah, where these people in this modern land of Palestine called Israel right now, where Jerusalem's at. You know what I'm saying? They try to position that Mount Moriah right there. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that them Yiddish people, or them Ashkenazi Jews, or imposters, or whatever you want to call them, they over there fighting about that right now too. What this brother brought up, they are over there fighting about a bunch of things right now. You know what I'm saying? They're really just fighting about a bunch of stuff that's not theirs, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But that's another thing, is that Mount Moriah. But I don't know.
Mount Moriah. I got Mount Moriah.
On that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a real.
I got it on the map.
All right, hold on, Music. Let him go in. Let him give his decision, family.
Go ahead, fam.
Y'all both did make some good points, man. Y'all both did, bro. I mean, what?
Just pick one, nigga.
Come on, brother. You're gonna have to pick one, man. We ain't doing no draws today. Who you got?
Hey, bro, man, I think I'm gonna have to ride with what that brother talking about it being in Africa, man. About the chosen land being in Africa.
Okay.
I really do. Yeah, because I'm not with them political Zionists, man.
Okay. All right. So we got one vote going towards Music. I'm gonna get my next person, Eliel Yasharala, to get his decision, and see where we go from there. Go ahead, Eliel.
Right. How about Shimmy? How was Sharp Rocket to the family?
How was Sharp Rocket?
Okay, I'm looking like me. I'm looking more at the archaeological things about it. Now, what Jeremiah, please say to Yah, what he had pointed out about that area where there were ancient writings found. You see what I'm saying? When there were ancient writings found, this is something I discussed it before. The reason why I'm going with Jeremiah, please say to Yah, is because like when we talk about Mount Sinai and the crossing of the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds, how we can find these things, or even Mount Sinai or Sodom and Gomorrah, how we can find these archaeologically, scripturally. How do we connect those locations to the mountain of Kenya? And that hasn't really been quite all the way clear yet. So therefore, I'm leaning more towards Jeremiah due to the fact that this area, it was proven that this little area had the Dead Sea Scrolls had the original writings and stuff. There's still connections that has to be made with the events that we all know that took place, and we still got to connect it to Kenya, and it hasn't been all the way quite clearly connected yet, even scripturally. So I'm just leaning more to Jeremiah, please say y'all.
All right. We got one. It's 1-1. I'm gonna take the next judge. I'm gonna go to Mudawa Mugabe. Let's hear it, Art.
Hey, what's going on, family? How y'all feeling this evening?
We blessed by the best.
Right. First and foremost, man, all gratitude to the ancestors for allowing us to be here right now. That's off the dribble. And I want to say this in all honesty. Jeremiah, my brother, shame on you. Shame on you, Jeremiah, for even taking this debate, lowering your level of biblical scholarship to even entertain this fuckery and foolishness that this dude brought to the motherfucking table.
Mudawa, this is a family show. Can we keep it respectful?
My bad.
All right.
That's just foolishness. This brother came up in here and is trying to place ancient Israel in equatorial Africa. and making no concessions for the fact that the equator spans the entirety of the globe. Why wouldn't why couldn't we choose another country? Equatorial Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Gabon, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Indonesia. You see, this is what we call being intellectually dishonest. When we sit here and we try to cherry pick some of the information to fit our own personal agenda. The academic consensus is firm, concise, and correct as to where the location of ancient Israel was. It might not be 1000% accurate because borders change over time, but fundamentally, the location is what it is, and it always will be. Jeremiah, you did a great job, brother. You presented the information. You did your stuff within the context of the discussion in itself. And brother, music, you know, I know you have a good heart. I know you mean well, but brother, I really need you to step up your level of scholarship. In closing, hands down, after the first round, it was a bloodbath. Jeremiah.
All right. Okay. 2-1 Jeremiah. We're gonna go to Just Us. Just Us. Come on, Rock. We'll see what you got.
Y'all can hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Bree.
All right. I think I'm gonna say I think it was a good back and forth, and definitely appreciate both of the information that was given. But being that it's based upon location, and you gotta deal with the geological location and some type of artifact, something physical, not based upon a belief. And Jeremiah, he talked about the Dead Sea Scroll. You know, I think it's scoring points with the Dead Sea Scroll, the artifacts, the distance. And he asked the brother about the artifact, and he went to the Bible saying that he takes some stuff. But then when he asked him, did you actually take those artifacts? The brother said no. So why bring it up? I mean, that didn't make sense to me. But I'm just making sure Jeremiah, man, because he went directly to the actual topic. I found physical location, not if God or on the equator. I mean that's belief and stuff.
3-1. Let's just hear what it's basically Jeremiah's won the title, but I'm interested in hearing what the last judge has to say. True Heart, go ahead and speak on it, family.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was 4-0 because you know when you debate, man, it's about scholarship, man. You know, you debating, you gotta pull up stuff. He putting out artifacts, and then he debunked a lot of stuff when he came up with stuff. He didn't come back and debunk none that he said. So I given him a lot of points from that because he made his point and then debunked a lot of the stuff, just like the Negro map. You know, I heard about that years ago, and that got, you know what I'm saying, that kind of got exposed years ago. So I was surprised when he kind of put that up. But you know, Jeremiah.
Music to go ahead and maybe give a closing, a statement, and then we're gonna have the new champion, Jeremiah. Please say the Yah, close out the show. It was a good show. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, both of y'all came with some heat, but the judges swayed their way towards Jeremiah. Please say the Yah, Mr. Handing Out Ales. So go ahead, music. You can go ahead and give a statement. Then we're gonna have the new champ give his statement. Go ahead, Art.
Well, the future will show basically what took place right here today. The people are going to say they inherited lies, and our people are going to say it right there with them that they inherited lies too. And When that day comes, I'm gonna be right there with a smile on my face. Literally, it is what it is. The Most High. So like we got to be prepared to actually answer that question when we step before Him. Like I said, with the Most High, choose a place that's unbalanced versus a place that's balanced. And with everything being said here, this is not done. This is not over. He's going to give that account again before the Most High Yah. And that's why I made it that way. So no matter where this part might be losing, that eternal part is going to win because I know exactly what balance is, regardless of what y'all might say it is. And I done proved it multiple times over. So it is what it is. People are biased. Every single last one of them was biased. Mugabe was biased. The Jesus part was biased. Elijah, I brought that out to him before he already knew about the angle about this thing like that. I thought he was getting someone who didn't know anything about this. Every single person who actually was a judge today was like the same thing as if he went and brought his own judges to this thing. Literally. You said no one would know us or anything at all. That's not the truth. That's not the case. Mugabe, whatever his name is, he was literally always on a Lions Den show when we were going back and forth in the rant. So he already know Jeremiah. He already knew me for the most part. Elijah, he already knew me. He's a friend with me. I thought you was gonna choose someone who was like from Kemet, the last one who was last time with the third person who didn't know anything about him or about me. That would have been a fair judgment. Fair judgment. I don't care what anyone say or whatever. It's not fair judging. Period.
Yeah, man, I don't know either one.
All right, hold up. Yeah, True Heart don't really know you, bro. Seven Chavez don't know you. Justice don't really know you.
But I know
Justice. Eli is your friend, right?
I know Justice.
Eli is your friend.
Yeah, I know him.
We had to get some last minute judges, and everybody wants to go watch. Hold up here, man. Everybody wants to go watch Michael Jordan documentary, man. I did my best with these judges. I mean, maybe in the championship match, can you maybe in a championship match, usually y'all can maybe, they have a clause where, y'all can have some kind of rematch on a different topic, bro. And I mean, you did good, man. Keep your head up. You can't win them all.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate this. And I appreciate the platform that you're making and helping build, man. You doing
it's
your
all
thing.
of us in this together, family. So yeah, I appreciate it. Welcome to the team. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get you in the ring, Yeah, but I just want music, man. Don't feel bad, bro. I mean, you're a good debater. I mean, this information that you bring out is totally new. A lot of people ain't never really looked at it the way you're looking at it. So it take a lot of convincing, putting a lot of pieces together to convince people that this is right. But I will say one thing: we are all over in Africa. We are all over in Africa. Like you said, the desert of Seth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of them locations, bro. Our people was there, but music, you didn't really point out the exact location where Israel was at. You was all over the whole entire.
Yeah, that was my point. My point was, I'm not saying he's not telling the truth. I'm saying if we just going by scholarship and debating and bringing the sources and bringing stuff like that, I was saying that he didn't win in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
Saying, yeah.
So wait a minute. So everything is based off of like having a horse or money that the Bible says not to trust in, right? To trust fully, completely in Him. That's it.
Nah, man, it's
extraordinary claims require extraordinary
information outside of the scripture and comparing it to the scriptures, making sense of the scriptures. You see
making
what I'm saying?
sense of the scriptures on what point? Where revisionism, where they done changed everything out, because it was two different locations, and I said that there was Nazareth here and there was Nazareth there, and I've shown them one from an old map or whatever from where.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you one question.
Yep.
Can you show all of us right now? Can you show us the Salt Sea or the Dead Sea in Africa?
Why does it have to be Africa? Why can't it just be where it's
asking you, look, bro. I'm not here to argue with you.
Yeah, let's don't turn into a circus, bro. There's nothing to do that, man. I shut it down right now, man.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Can you show us
where the Dead Sea is or the Salt Sea is in Africa. That's very, very important because
so they're going to actually cover those areas from the Bible if they're going to make something like a replica of it.
Can't show us that because
Yeah,
that's in the Bible.
Mike, please.
So all what you showed was what they already did from modern
Bible.
The what?
The Dead Sea, the Salt Sea.
Somebody mute their mic.
Where the Most High is at, right there. He said, everything is about where the Most High is. We got land because of the Most High. Prove where the Most High is going to be at. So everything y'all saying that is right there where the synagogue of Satan's at. We're just saying that the devil and Satan that the Father and devil shakes hands. That's what y'all saying. Literally.
Okay, so I got one question that we leave. So when Moses left out of Egypt, like where did he go?
It said he went southward. That's what the scriptures say. That he got up and says, "Go southward."
All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna let the new champion.
Yo, leave that poor boy alone, man. Stop mocking the ass whooping, man.
I mean, it is. Hey, listen. Like I say, music. You got some. You putting some things together. You just probably need to come with a little bit better. You know, I don't know, man. Cause come on, everybody. Let's cut it out. Don't be laughing. He owns something. He just needs a little bit more time to put it together.
You're right.
Now, I would like to ask Jeremiah, will you give this brother a chance? Come on, man.
Okay, we got the
Come on, man.
Hey, I'm trying to stop. Man.
All right. You got his belt back, everybody. Go ahead and close it out, champ.
I'm sorry, man. I was listening.
The champ is here. Let him know, Jeremiah.
I was listening to my victory music, man. I couldn't hear you, brother. What was you asking me, brother?
I said, go ahead. Would you be willing to give this brother a rematch on a different topic?
I want to make this extremely clear, and I want everybody to hear my voice. Hell no, I ain't giving this nigga no goddamn rematch. All right? I'm the champ. I've been the champ. I was the champ then, now, and present. I want to make this very clear, man. This Negro been running his mouth all over town. Is it my turn to speak, Jeremiah, or do you want me to be quiet, brother? Because I'll just play my...
I ain't said nothing.
I'm just asking, brother.
What I do?
I'm just asking, brother. I'm just asking.
I'm the people's champ, brother. I can, you know what I'm saying? We got Go ahead and do your speech, and we're gonna wrap it up, fam.
Man, let me make this clear, man. Like the brother Mugabe said, man, you know what I'm saying? This was asinine as hell, right? I don't respect someone who is attempting.
Can't hear you.
You muted yourself.
Somebody else muted me, bro. Somebody else muted me. Let me make this clear.
Yo, music did that, man.
I asked this brother a very strategic question. I asked him, do he believe he's one of the watchmen in Revelation chapter 11? And he said yes. According to the biblical prophecy, that person will be leading us in the wilderness. That means he will be above you and I. He's better than me and you. So any Negro rising up, running around here talking about they're better than you and I, let me make this clear. I am your lowly servant. Anything I can do, you can do better. So it's nothing special about me. I'm just your brother.
My mic is not, can you hear me, Jeremiah?
I can hear you now, brother.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. Go ahead and get your victory.
All right, well, let me finish.
Congratulations, family.
Let me finish, brother. It's been a long time coming.
Hold up. Sister, can you just wait? I'm trying to let this brother get his victory speech. Go ahead, man.
Thank you, sir.
I can't mute my mic.
right? So this brother is exhorting himself over you and I. I have a problem with that. Then he says, since he's one of the watchmen, he's going to bring some sort of information that's greater than you and I, greater than our teachers, greater than our elders, greater than our ancestors. I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that, brother. So at the end of the day, there's nothing special about me. I am your lowly servant. All right? I just got one thing to say, man. Understand that, man. I stand for the nation of Israel, Yashala. From Yashala, man. I'm out of here, man.
All right, what a hell of a show, everybody. Like I say, the Lions Den Debate League source. We got the everybody. I can't think of all the collaborators. But what I'm saying is, man, this was one hell of a show, and we got many more to come. If y'all can go back early, I beat the brakes off Black Lion Supreme. It was a bloodbath. You hear me? The People's Champion thing.
Hey, share that jump to me, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to